Cool. Give me a hi, Lara, in the chat if you can see me. Amazing. Hey everyone, how's it going? Super excited to have you guys here over the next 3 days. I'm just gonna wait a few minutes while everybody joins because I know some people like to be a little bit late or just getting off calls, etc. It's currently 7 p.m. in the UK. Couldn't really tell. It looks like it's two. So I'm really, really happy about that. But yeah, how is everyone? Happy Friday. Can't believe it is literally the last Friday of April. It's May. 1st of May. Uh, Crazy. It's already what? January, February, March, April, May. 5 months into 2026. Who here has done what they said that they were gonna do January 1st? I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Nope, haven't. What were like some of you guys' goals? Share with me in the chat. Part of it. Okay. So one of my goals for 2026 was running a marathon. Happened. I ran the London Marathon. That was crazy. Never doing it again. It was a once in a lifetime experience. I don't think I'll do it twice. I'm gonna leave it there. But yeah, that was exciting for me. I really liked it. And also other things happened, which I'm gonna get into later on today. I'm gonna put my hair up because it's a bit hot in my apartment. There's no AC in the UK as usual. So, but yeah, for hi Adi, how are you? One of my goals in 2026 is getting myself a laptop. You got this. Box check done. I have done part of it. I just launched my community and almost 20K on LinkedIn. Congrats, Blaze. That's really, really cool. Okay. Who else? Grow your network on LinkedIn. You can do it, Hunan. I'm launching my office for consulting. Congratulations, Dom. Really happy to hear. I didn't have any goal, but now I have. Okay, Jody, what was your goal? Visibility and sales growing for Cosva. Goal was to get one sale. Niav, did you get it? Fitness wise and definitely LinkedIn goals. Yeah. Honestly, fitness goals for me keep on changing. One day I want to be a marathon runner, and the next one I want to be like, I don't know, a powerlifter again. Scale to $10,000 a month, halfway there. Congratulations, Emily. Really, really good progress. It's like it's not as easy as people make it seem, but today I'm gonna show you how. Because I've got the blueprint. Moved to London and became an angel investor. Wow! What did you invest in, Alexandra? That's really cool. Congrats. Congratulations on Forbes. Thank you. I'm gonna like celebrate myself in a second again. But yeah, it's really that as well. Scale my business. Okay, Belinda, that's really cool. All right, so before I get started, actually, how many people here don't know who I am and just came here through an ad? Because then it's gonna be so weird seeing this random person on your screen right now, being like, "What? Who is this girl and where is her accent coming from?" Okay, me. Okay, hi God, nice to meet you. Not from us. I saw you on your YouTube channel. Oh, amazing, amazing. Thank you. You probably see me yap really quickly, and so you were probably used to me speaking really quickly, which is fine. We're gonna give a big, big disclaimer on this as well. I've been following you for 3 years almost. Sana, always a pleasure to see you. I came all the way from LinkedIn. Hamid, nice to see you. Well, that's really cool. New people, even at this point. We keep on growing. We keep on growing. Just discovering from France. Nice to meet you. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Lara. Okay, I'm a YouTube fan. Thank you. Thank you. We're trying to do that as well. Not as consistent as I would like, but hopefully coming back soon. Okay, you landed in my inbox. Email game. I actually found you on a client's account I manage. That's really cool. Barnaby from Sydney. I saw your work on LinkedIn. That's amazing. Okay, so we have people from Instagram, we have people from YouTube, we have people from email, we have people from LinkedIn. So you guys have seen different personalities of me. Today is gonna be a combination of all of them. So yeah, I saw you from Cleo. You're everywhere on my LinkedIn. Also, you started growing my personal brand again. Okay, nice. We've got a message from, oh, the chat is moving really, really fast. All right, cool. Now, we're at the 5 minute mark. Who is excited? Who is ready to get going? We've got 2 full hours, you and me together. So please, grab a drink, grab a new tonic if you have it. Angel investor here, and let's get going. Put a one in the chat if we're ready to rock and roll. Today is probably one of my favorite dates. Well, also tomorrow and the day after, but all of them in different ways. Okay, so who is excited? Nice. We've got the sun shining in London. All conditions ready to roll. So let me get started. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. So please give me a also like we can see in the chat if you can see my screen in 3, 2, 1. Can you see my screen? Give me a yes in the chat if you can see the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful PowerPoint presentation that my amazing COO has made for us today. Yes, amazing. All right, so some rules is that Zoom likes to do this thing where it just shows you the presentation. So please, if you can, put the presentation in front of you and also expand my face so you can see me because I like to speak with my hands sometimes. Can we get this presentation? You might do. Do we get this recording? You might do. We don't know. It depends on my COO. If you guys are nice to me today, and if you guys stay till the end, we may give you access, but only to the people that stay until the very end. Because what happens is when we promise the recordings, people don't pay attention, and I don't want that because you're spending 2 hours with me live, and I would hate for that to just be something that you're watching passively. All right, cool. Will you please share tips on how to find right post to comment? I will. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. Are we good? We good to go? My face is very vague on your screens. Yes? Just give me a yes in the chat. Can you see me? Can you see the presentation? Yes, just Vladimir. Okay. Yes from Punan, just from Dom. Let's go. All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next 3 days of my LinkedIn Growth Challenge. Thank you so much for taking the time with me today. So this is going to be a 3-day masterclass based on everything I know about LinkedIn and what you need to do to start building your personal brands and actually starting getting high ticket clients from LinkedIn alone. Good, cool. So before I start though, where is everyone from and where's everyone at? So like you guys know, I'm in London. Are you guys in Spain? Are you guys in Mexico? Are you guys in France? I saw some people in France. Morocco, Zurich, Ireland, India, Vancouver, Canada, India, London, Australia. The chat is moving so fast. Prague, Nigeria, Manchester, Pakistan, Nigeria. Okay, Florida, the US, Macedonia, the UK, Serbia. We've got a whole bunch of people all over the world. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? Where are my UK people at? Yeah, Cumbria, cool. We've got people from the UK, London. I see Oxford. I see Cambridge, Somerset. I went to school there. Taunton. All right, amazing. Well, guys, today is day 1 of the Content to Catch Challenge. Over 5,000 people RSVP'd for the event. So thank you so much for being in this room with us today. Okay, we've got 2 full hours plus. I want to ask you, how much money do you guys want to make from LinkedIn next month? Give me a number in the chat. $1,000, $10,000, £3,000, $10,000, $10,000, $5,000, $2,000, $200,000, $1,000,000. All right, we've got some high achievers in the chat. We've got some very normal people here who want to get $10,000. All right, cool. That is very exciting, and I'm so glad that you guys know that you can make money from LinkedIn. Just starting out, lots of money, 5K, 10K, 20K, 50K. Cool. So for the next 2 hours, I'm going to break down the agenda so you guys know exactly what you're getting today, because what I hate is people joining the live webinars, etc., the live masterclasses, and not really understanding what they're going to be getting every single day. Because we have 3 days today, 3 days over the next 3 days. So today we're going to be focusing on LinkedIn alone. I know so many of you guys came from ads. Maybe you guys are not familiar with LinkedIn at all. So I'm going to be explaining why LinkedIn is also the best channel to start growing your business. Not Instagram, not Facebook, not YouTube, but LinkedIn. Okay. So over the next 2 hours, I'm going to show you 3 main things. All right. Understanding the new LinkedIn shift and why there is a new algorithm update and happened and how to use it in your favor. The second thing is the end of generic cringy thought leadership and what actually works now. And the last thing, I'm going to give you 3 exceptional strategies to get attention and land clients. And at the end, I'm also going to be doing a Q&A live with you, answering all of your questions. So any questions you have in the chat, I'm going to be answering them live. So you guys know that I'm live here today. It's not recorded. Any questions, I am here to answer them for you. And also, I am going to be picking 2 people to roast their LinkedIn content for today live. So if you're one of those people that finally wants to get an hour of my time, an hour of an expert consultant and strategies for LinkedIn personal branding, today is going to be your chance. All right. So let me tell you what this session isn't about. So this isn't your surface level way to getting attention. Like that is not it. So if you were looking for generic tips, etc., we are not going to be doing that. All right. And then the second thing is that this is not going to be a lesson where I show you my big, bright Ferrari and I tell you how I made $1 million in one day. Or I'm not going to show you my big Miami penthouse because I don't have it, because I'm not like that. I'm not a sales guru that's going to pitch you something that is like not going to work. Not at all. All right. What we are going to be doing today is that I'm going to show you how to maximize your reach and distribution on LinkedIn. And I'm also going to be giving you an interactive workshop with worksheets, Q&As, live roastings, and implementable frameworks that you can take away and implement today. How does that sound for you guys? Good? Give me a hell yeah in the chat. Just making sure that the team is recording this. Leva, is this being recorded? Yes, no? Just confirm with me in the chat as well. Yes, okay, perfect. Got the team on. So perfect. All right, so how to get the most out of this? If you're sitting down and listening to this passively, if you can't tell by my sound and my voice right now, I am stood up, locked in. So what I need you guys to do for me today is to also lock in with me today, all right? So I want you guys sat with notebooks, with everything on your laptop, on your phone, on your notepad, ready and to take notes and take action, okay? Cool. So a question for you: what are you most excited about learning over this 3-day challenge for you? Is it the new LinkedIn playbook? Is it the easiest way to get high-paying clients? Or is it how to build an $100,000 LinkedIn monetization ecosystem? Tell me in the chat, which session are you most excited for? All three, all three, all three. The first one, all of them, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, all three. All right, cool. So you guys are in the right place, because over the next 3 days, I'm going to be covering everything in excruciating detail. All right, cool. So, and I will completely change the way you see LinkedIn in 2026. So that is a picture of me visiting LinkedIn headquarters, because I formally get invited there all the time. I was meant to be there last week, but I was like, no, I'm too busy trying to prepare for this webinar, for this masterclass. So I am here showing you that I don't only just talk the talk, but I also walk the walk. Like LinkedIn have had me themselves at their headquarters, so I know what I'm speaking about. Now, one of the things that I do want to get ahead and talk about is that most people are making up claims based on a certain sample size on content. So if you guys have been on LinkedIn for a bit, or maybe have heard about LinkedIn on YouTube or Instagram, etc., you have probably seen a lot of claims, different claims that are all conflicting. So many unverified LinkedIn algorithm reports are claiming certain things that aren't true, or made up claims that don't make sense. So video reach dropping by 200%. If you want to go viral, just educate, post infographics and carousels, and you likely go viral. And that is all the advice that we're getting from all of these LinkedIn gurus. Have you guys heard some of it? Are you guys familiar? Do you guys have questions? Right, that's the goal for me visiting LinkedIn headquarters. Yeah, it's actually quite achievable. I've seen a lot of people get invited. Yes, so the thing is, people do make these claims, but they're all unverified. And today I'm going to break all of them down, because honestly, I'm tired of hearing the same things. So where I get most of my information from is actually directly coming from LinkedIn. So we follow directly, and we actually just have a list of people that work at LinkedIn, so we can actually see what they are actually trying to tell us by all of these LinkedIn algorithm changes. So one of the things that I do want to get clear is that the LinkedIn algorithm has changed, right? So from Gaida Sacheva here, she's saying that yes, the LinkedIn algorithm is always changing, and it's not just the algorithm evolving, but also how people consume shifts too. So what they click, what they save on, what they spend time on, that also changed. So the formats that they like and don't like, and their behavior changes all the time. That's not just coming from me, but from the VP of product management at LinkedIn themselves. So you guys can trust me with the advice, because I take it very seriously, us making sure that the advice makes sense directly from what the claims are, what I see, and versus what LinkedIn themselves are saying. So congratulations if you're here because you're tired of posting content that gets no engagement, because you don't feel like you have a winning strategy, and because you know that you can get leads on LinkedIn as soon as possible because you've seen other people do it, right? Do you guys identify yourselves with any of this? So are you guys tired of posting content on LinkedIn and you're not getting any engagement? Yes. Are you guys tired of feeling like you don't have a winning content strategy? Yes. And do you guys know that you guys can get leads? Yes. So before I get started with the masterclass, something for you. If you stick with me until the end, we're going to be sending you a copy of the worksheet in these slides, and my team spent 15 hours on. I'm also going to be giving you the links to the primary resources that I showed you guys today, that I'm going to be showing you guys today. And also, I'm going to be giving you the virality and lead generation ultimate vote, so you guys can get started posting on LinkedIn straight after this masterclass. Because again, what I hate the most is when people come to these sessions and they don't implement. I don't want you guys to just be entertained by me. I want you guys to implement because education without implementation is just entertainment. All right, cool. Now, would this be valuable for you if I show you everything that I know and I also give you the resources at the end? Give me a yes in the chat. Yes, for sure. We have a yes from Adita. We have yes from Francis. We got a yes from Leva. Okay, amazing. So now a quick heads up on how today is going to work. I am going to be speaking with a fast British style accent, and I'm also going to try and make this as interactive as possible for you guys. So one piece of advice for me is that you guys will get kicked out if you spam the chat with links and ruin the vibes, because here we have an active audience that is looking at the chat as well, and we all want to learn together. So please don't spam the chat, don't put links in the chat, only if I ever ask you to, because otherwise it's not going to help you, it's not going to help you grow, you're not going to get any new followers, etc. All right, cool. So but firstly, why should you listen to me today? Like, who is this girl? Well, hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lara Costa, and I am your host for today. And a bit of background on me. I started posting LinkedIn like many of you guys have. So that is my profile from 2022. I had less than 10,000 followers. My banner was really ugly. It was an homage to my favorite film. If you guys know where that film is referenced, also put it in the chat. I would love to know my fellow entrepreneur film addicts. And that looked like me. I actually started my LinkedIn from my parents' house back in Mexico. And then I moved to university again in the UK. And I was building my first business from my shoebox room at university with a broken gamer chair that I had stolen because I had no money to pay for anything. So I was broke. I didn't have businesses. I didn't have what you see now. Everything that I've built has been over the last 3 years from 2022 to 2027, 2026. And that's how you see today. But this is where I started. And then my content also looked like that. So if you guys can see, I had 95 likes here, I had 100 likes here, I had 100 likes there. My content wasn't that great and it wasn't that focused, but I keep it there to show people that I started where you guys are probably starting. So no engagement, no clients, no leads. I felt the way that you guys probably feel now. So I understand you. I understand the frustration. I understand the fact that a lot of you may feel lost and may feel like LinkedIn is not for you, and that's how I felt. However, over the last 4 years, I was able to build and scale 3 different businesses. The first business that I started with was an agency, and I scaled that to 6 figures in under 12 months just from LinkedIn. I didn't have to do any ads. I didn't have to do any outbound. I only posted on LinkedIn, and that's what built me my first business. Then I started monetizing. I started selling one-off products. One of them made me $10,000 passively. I'm going to get into that later. I also started my flagship mentorships, and I started getting paid to collaborate and speak with my favorite brands like Loom, Apollo, Clay, Standstill, etc. So I wasn't just making one I didn't just have one income stream, I had many just because I started posting on LinkedIn. And then after I started my second business, which is an education business, Literally Academy, and scaled that to over $1 million over the next following years. And then earlier in 2020, no, late in 2025, I then launched my third business, Clio, which is an AI software, which is at $1 million ARR in under 7 months, all because of LinkedIn, right? I didn't need all of these external platforms. I didn't need to have multi-presence, multi-channel presence. Everything that you've been hearing about personal branding, I completely disagree with. You don't need multiple platforms to scale to $1 million or even 6 figures. You actually just need one. And that, my friends, is LinkedIn. And to be honest, I've not just been able to do it for myself, I've been able to do it for founders for in different niches. Like we have Jasmine here, we have Trish here in real estate, we have Catherine here as a certified translator. So if you're here today and you're wondering, will LinkedIn work for my niche? The answer is yes. Because I've seen the craziest niches get success on LinkedIn. Not just marketeers, not just consultants, not just recruiters, but people from the AI industry to real estate to doctors, etc. So yes, and my CEO is telling me that the gifts will be sent after the 3 days, so you have to come in to every single day in order to get your gifts. Now, as a result of all of that, I've been able to gross over $2 million at a 70 to 80% profit margin. How insane is that? Right? 70 to 80% profit margins. That's almost unheard of. Most of it was also AI powered, and I'm gonna show you why and how in a second. And I didn't have to have a bloated payroll either. So my first business, the agency, was actually a one-person business. I scaled that without having to hire a single person. The second business also started as a one-person business. So, and that was a result of just posting LinkedIn content. I didn't have to go through all of these loops that people believe to have that they need to have in order to build a profitable business, right? I didn't have to do all of that, and I'm here to tell you that you don't need to do that either, right? So as a result, I built an audience of over 300,000 followers on LinkedIn, over 80,000 people on my email list, over 47,000 followers on YouTube, and over 51,000 followers on Instagram, right? But that all started because of LinkedIn. I've also been featured on your favorite podcast. My favorite one is obviously Start the Story. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it or how many of you guys have heard of Start the Story, but Start the Story is one of the biggest podcasts and YouTube channels in the creator and entrepreneurial space. So if they had me on and all of these other podcasts had me on, I believe that you should believe and trust me with the advice I'm going to tell you today, right? I've also been featured in Forbes not once, not twice, but 4 times. Since 2022, from 2023, 2024, and 2025, I've been able to be featured in one of the most prestigious magazines in the planet. And also, I've been able to turn content into customers. So we have people here, Lara, you changed my life and company forever. I went from £40,000 to £100,000 MRR in 4 months just because I followed your advice and took your programs. I've also been able to collaborate with SEMrush, Poppy, Loom, etc. Right? So all of this that I've been doing on LinkedIn has not only allowed me to build a business, has not only allowed me to build multiple businesses, has not only allowed me to help other people build their businesses, but also diversify my income, build a personal brand that I can build and scale and use as a vehicle to build other businesses. So my question for you guys today is, who here wants the exact journey that I've had? Who here wants to be able to build a business just through content and have a good funnel and be able to add 10 to 50 to $100,000 on pipeline to their businesses? Yes. Cool. We have a lot of people here. All right. And at the end, recently, like I said, our business scaled to, over $1 million ARR. We hit 200K in February, which was amazing. And we didn't run a single ad, right? So I know that that is possible. And honestly, recently, 2 weeks ago, I also got named officially a Forbes 30 on the 30. And that, honestly, my friends, has been the biggest achievement of my career. I would love to underplay it. I would love to say that it's just another thing in the checklist. But truly, it meant so much to me that I have it printed out there because it's something that I've been aspiring to have since I started my journey as an entrepreneur. So once again, I think that you guys can trust me with what I'm about to tell you today, right? So thank you for all the congrats, very big achievements, and thank you so much for everyone that's been supporting me throughout the journey because I couldn't have done it without you. Now, I know some of you guys might be skeptical even after showing you all of that, and that's okay. I want that. You should be skeptical about the advice that you receive online. Honestly, as someone that does it all the time, I think that you should. And some of you guys may be asking yourself, how is this possible? I'm not sure that I can earn that much from LinkedIn alone or LinkedIn really. So yes, you can do it. So if you stick around in the training with me and you make it till the end, I'm going to be sharing everything that no one else is sharing. And it has a potential to completely change LinkedIn for you and how to get clients on LinkedIn. Cool. So in the last 3 years, I engineered a new way of building an irresistible and profitable personal brand based on data, right? Not just vibes, but data. And we called it the record month LinkedIn ecosystem. And it's got 3 main pillars. So an engaged audience, a perfect funnel, and then an ideal offer. And we have the main bottlenecks that you guys probably have today. You probably have overlooked marketing messaging. You are probably cringing out at selling to people, which I personally have had in the past. And maybe you have confusing messaging. So maybe you're posting about yourself one day, maybe you're posting about something else the other day, and it's not making sense. And I see this all the time, right? But this record month LinkedIn ecosystem has helped many people like founders, business owners who sell services, coaching, consulting agencies, etc. So we have people like Leonardo, Misha, Sijita here from different niches: growth coaching, ghostwriting, executive business partners, etc. Right? And we have many, many other people that I can show you, but I'm not gonna do that because we're running out of time. We also have people like Anjali from Feeling Lost to Crushing It. Anjali hit her first $10,000 a month after a few months of working with us. We also have people like Jess, who has reached over 1 million impressions. In post has landed clients of over $50,000 and has gotten multiple high ticket clients by implementing my strategies and consistently putting in the work. So all of this was due to the fact that they tackled the three main problems that we're going to be tackling together today. So the engaged audience, the perfect funnel, and having an ideal offer. So if you have confusing messaging, overlooked marketing, and cringy sales, today is going to be the day where we fix a lot of them today. All right. So firstly, we're going to cover the way to stand out from others in your market. So this is what we call the offer engine. Then the way to build distribution. This is your marketing engine. And then the third thing is the way to attract leads and convert them into clients. And this is your funnel engine, right? There are 12 total accelerators that you need to use to add an additional $10 to $50,000 a month for your business on LinkedIn, right? So obviously we don't have the time to do all of these things today. So we'll cover only these three over the next 3 days. So understanding the new platform rules, winning content strategies, and designing the revenue models. So we're going to be covering this. So like this is what we usually cover with our coaching clients, but today we're going to cover this today. So today we'll cover one core piece of the puzzle, and that is understanding the new platform rules, right? So when you work with us, you learn about the record month LinkedIn ecosystem model in depth, and we're going to put it in the chat. So we're going to have the details now going live. So you can see exactly all the 12 different pillars so you can get an understanding of what this actually looks like in practice. Okay, cool. Now let's get into the actual education. So there are three core pillars that I'll go through with you today. Number one, the end of generic thought leadership. Number two, why most personal brands won't survive 2026. And number three, the three things that you need to do to be the exception. Okay, so first, let me address the big elephant in the room. Is it fair for me, guys, if I teach you all of this regarding the platform today and then show you where you can get more help? Put a yes in the chat if that's okay with you. So we're going to spend the next hour and a half doing all of that. And then at the end, if I find a way to help you, then I'm going to show you how. All right, cool. So we get yes in the chat. All right, amazing. And also, if you stay till the end, we have special live bonuses to help you reach your goals faster. Only for the 600 people that are here with us today live. And we're going to have past clients of us who are going to be joining us today. So we have my amazing client Guy, who keeps on going viral on LinkedIn, even more viral than me. And we also have Hayden, who has gotten a 200,000 deal on LinkedIn. And we also have the row session that I promised you guys at the start. So please don't spam your links in the chat, so otherwise you're gonna get kicked out. All right, now let me explain something to you guys. LinkedIn has over 1 billion users. And you guys have probably heard this stat before, but if you haven't, here it is. 1 billion users. How many people do you think are posting content on LinkedIn consistently? Give me a number, a percentage. 10%, 50%, 60%? So just give a guess. 1%, 3%, 2%. Yeah, between 1 to 3% of people are posting content, LinkedIn content on every single week. That is insane if we compare it to Instagram. That is insane if we compare it to Facebook. That is insane if we compare it to any other social media platform. LinkedIn today is the blue ocean that every single one of you is looking for today, because there is an undersupply to the over demand for content. So 1 billion users scrolling on LinkedIn, and none of them are finding content that they like. So the reason why I'm all in on LinkedIn is because of this. LinkedIn is the highest intent business platform, right? It's focusing on achievement, success, aspiration, not just entertainment like Instagram or TikTok, that you have to create videos consistently at a high quality with high editing, and you're not really getting anywhere. And to be honest, that's why people like Alex Ramosi are going all in on LinkedIn, right? Who knows Alex here, right? So if people like Alex Ramosi are posting content, are allocating resources onto LinkedIn, and you aren't, then I'm gonna ask you, why do you think you're not? If the highest of the echelons of entrepreneurs are, then why are you not? We also have Cody Sanchez, also one of the biggest entrepreneurs in the spaces, Instagram, YouTube, etc. But she's still posting content consistently on LinkedIn. And so if she is, then why not you? We also have Liam Otley. I don't know how many of you guys follow him. He's got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on YouTube. And so if he has a big following on YouTube, then why is he posting on LinkedIn? Well, the reason for this is that LinkedIn is the place where people are seeing a massive opportunity, right? Everyone is seeing what's happening on LinkedIn right now, and they're hopping on the bandwagon. But if you leave it till too late, it's gonna be too late for you to start. And I don't want you to be that person that gets left behind, right? Otherwise, like, look, I am talking about LinkedIn like I'm just like narrating, but this has been the result of that I've seen with my own LinkedIn. Over 300,000 followers, viral posts every single day. So I know the true potential of LinkedIn because I've seen it. And also, I've seen it with all the clients signing 3K retainers, 3,500, getting striped notifications like this, $8,000 pay in full just because of LinkedIn. And again, I'm asking you, why are you not doubling down? Now, the problem here is like, okay, Lara, well, I'm trying to post on LinkedIn, but impressions are low. The algorithm hates me. Algorithm sucks. Like everything sucks right now. It's changed so much. Okay, right. The problem is that people are operating with the old model of LinkedIn. And what is that? They're putting content out daily and they're expecting more distribution, right? Because you're running on the old playbook where the realistic version was you post content from all the platforms and it performs well, right? And so there's a big gap that no one's really addressing today. And that is, in order to get more distribution, you need to get clarity around what the platform actually wants. So most people that are seeing the downtrend are complaining about organic reach being over, about, having to invest on ads. How many of you guys have tried to pay LinkedIn to show you to more people because your organic content isn't working? You don't need to pay on LinkedIn. You don't need to pay for ads. That's why you're here. Maybe you're confused that the LinkedIn game seems to change every single week, and then one day it's posting carousels and the next day it's posting value. And again, that's wrong. You're following the wrong advice. Or maybe you're stuck, whereas people are less smart than you with horrible business models, with really bad client results, are literally getting ahead of you. And it seems like it's a rigged game, but it's not. The hack here, ladies and gentlemen, is that you need to just understand how to get consistent engagement, understand how to get DMs full of your ideal prospects waiting to connect, and also understand how to build LinkedIn influence that directly translates to revenue, because posting content and getting likes is cute, but it's not enough to get to $10,000 extra, $50,000 extra, $100,000 extra. So that's why we're covering the three first things today. And the first one is the end of generic thought leadership. So, have you been finding that it's hard right now to get attention in on LinkedIn? So, who here is getting like 50 likes, 10 likes here, 30 likes there, etc.? Yes. Okay, cool. Now, the reason for this is you probably have seen all of these reports going out telling you that this post is better, that this post is better, but then you're trying all of these things and it's not working for you. Or maybe you're seeing all of this information and it's just completely overwhelming. Because you're like, okay, one person is saying this, the other person is saying that, and I don't have time, right? Who here has a massive time constraint because you don't want to spend 20 million hours on LinkedIn every single week, right? Sorry, I'm a bit, okay. So if there's anything I want for you to take away today is this: only trust official sources, right? So the official LinkedIn algorithm update is this, and this is why everything feels different right now. LinkedIn last year rolled out one of the biggest LinkedIn algorithm changes on the platform's history, right? And it was called 360 Brew, right? And they quietly removed the actual article, but no one knows why. But you can still have access to it in the archives. Now, it's very wordy and it's very techy, but here's something that I saw, and this is what I want you guys to understand. It affects everything from your feed to how you're seeing ads to learning suggestions to your profile and your recommendations. So, what you should be actually paying attention to and the tactical things that actually matter are this. Before January 2025 or even 2024, if you posted something like this, like you're seeing on the screen, you blew up easily and generic thought leadership worked. But then LinkedIn realized that people are starting to tune out of the platform because everything sounded the same. People were making fun of LinkedIn every single time. And maybe you guys are probably having the same thought, like, oh my God, why am I even on a LinkedIn masterclass right now? I thought LinkedIn was only to post job offers and celebrate my achievements. Like, how many of you guys recognize LinkedIn as the place where you go, oh, I'm so excited to announce this, and oh, I just got hired by my dream role, or blah, 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 right? That era is now over because LinkedIn recognizes that they want experts talking about their expertise. And one of those people is me, right? I've seen this model play out over the last 3 years, but now LinkedIn has finally reached the point where they want more of that. So the previous model worked in different algorithms. So one of them was handling the feed, one of them was handling the comments, one of them was handling ads, right? And that's how it worked. That's why you were seeing so many different types of content on your feed. But today, if you log on to LinkedIn, you're just seeing one type of content. And that is because the new 360 brew model has a single integrated algorithm powering all features. It analyzes post content to match it with interested audiences. It prioritizes meaningful expertise and substantive conversation. And it also values quality over quantity. So for those of you who think that you need to post 20 times a day, that doesn't need to happen. You only need to post one time a day, right? Or even 4 times a week if you want. So the old tactics also stopped working. So just posting doesn't work. Generic and fluffy tips don't work. Chasing quick likes and comments don't work. So I saw someone in the chat earlier saying, oh, where do I find the best accounts to comment on? You don't need to rely on that anymore. You actually just need to rely on good content. So the problem is that people are still playing the old game of LinkedIn, where you think that it's only for job offers, you only think that it's only for job announcements, you think that you can only repurpose content on LinkedIn that worked on other platforms, you think that you should become the niche and, be the niche of one and all of these things, and you think that you should just post content. But it doesn't work like that. And as a result, this idea that you're seeing here of just repurposing content from other platforms, just posting your blog content, etc., it doesn't work. And that's why we're seeing all of these content about quality of LinkedIn on Reddit, on YouTube, etc. But the reality is that even when people say that the LinkedIn algorithm has shifted and it doesn't work for anyone, I don't think it's true. We have Cameron, my CTO, that started posting on LinkedIn in January, and he keeps on going crazy viral on LinkedIn. He just started posting, right? He had an audience of people that used to work with him. So, people that weren't interested in his content. And in his head, he was like, no one's going to pay attention to me. But then he implemented all of our strategies, and today we see results like this. So if you've been wondering, oh, I've had my LinkedIn for ages, I don't know if it's going to resonate, I don't know if I changed my niche today, I don't know if it's going to work, then I'm here to reassure you that it can't work. And after reading the paper, here's what matters, right? Number one, and please start taking notes because this is important. Smaller accounts can outperform larger ones with better content. So today, LinkedIn is not a game of who has the most followers. It's a game of who has the better quality content. And you can see it directly from that report. The performance gap between the two models is largest when a member has fewer available connections and interactions, right? So we can see here, someone like Wilman here, who started a year ago with 400 followers, now has 21,000 followers and has multiple viral posts because he understood how to leverage the new algorithm and the new content rules to his advantage. Now, number two, the new LinkedIn algorithm actually works in favor of expert-led content and positioned profiles. So who here believes that they are an expert in their niche? I'm gonna wait till in the chat to see you guys if you guys are experts. Yes. Do you guys believe that you're experts in your industry? Do you guys believe that you guys know something about your industry that most people aren't talking about? Yes. Okay, cool. We've got many, many different experts here. So if you're an expert, then I have good news for you. You don't need to rely on viral tactics anymore. You don't need to talk about random things that you don't believe in. You don't need to talk about work-life balance. You don't need to talk about productivity hacks. You just need to talk about the thing that actually powers your business. If you're an SEO expert, if you're a solopreneur, if you're a marketer, if you're a creator, those things that power your businesses are the things that LinkedIn wants to hear about. But your profile needs to be positioned first. And I have data to back this up. So a recent article from Rishi, who is the senior director of product management, literally said that the few factors that influence what appears on your feed are your profile, your network, and your actions. So your profile must have your experience, your skills, and your education helps them determine your interests and the most helpful content for you and for people that follow you, right? Also your network. Who is in your network? Are they people that actually are interested in what you have to say? Or are they people that just have been there for decades and don't really match your new interest or what you're trying to sell as a service or a product? And also your actions. So when you post, what conversations you have in the comments, etc. So let me give you a quick actionable tip because I don't like leaving you guys with just information without implementation. So this is how you position a profile in the best standard possible. And I want you guys to take screenshots right now. Okay. So this is Evan. Evan works as a DTC growth expert. So how is his LinkedIn winning? Because immediately when you see his profile, he's positioning himself as the expert. So his banner is targeting a specific ICP, so an ideal client persona. It also has the thing that their ideal client wants, and also has CTAs and social proof. So you can see in his banner, seven-figure D2C brands want to scale to 10 million plus a year. So he's immediately targeting the problem that his ideal client or audience has. And also here, as you can see, he also has the social proof to back it up. All right, who's clear here? Yes? Also, in his headline, D2C growth expert, right? Immediately, he's categorizing himself in a niche. He's not saying founder of linear because he understands that people don't understand what linear is because it's not a household name, right? The main mistake that a lot of people make is that they try to make their brand the headline, but no one knows what your brand is yet. You need to let them know in the future with your content. But first, in your headline, you need to indicate to someone what problem you are solving for them rather than what is the thing that you do, right? It is the problem that you need to be addressing. It is a specific category that you want to be living under. And the reasoning behind this, again, is because of the new LinkedIn algorithm changes. So, LinkedIn itself has said that it reads your profile like a prompt. So imagine when you put something onto ChatGPT or Claude, what happens? When you tell it, hey, build me a marketing strategy, it's going to give you a marketing strategy for Instagram, YouTube, etc. When you give it a prompt that says, hey, build me a marketing strategy for LinkedIn over the next 30 days based on all of these research that I've done in you ad sheets, etc., it's going to give you a better result. So think about that when you're creating your LinkedIn positioning again. Think about it again. How are you going to prompt the LinkedIn algorithm and its new AI to put you in front of the right people that want to consume your content and also eventually buy from you? You tell the LinkedIn algorithm exactly what you do and who you help. You're not categorizing yourself as a dad, dog dad, telling everyone that you're an author, podcast host, speaker, investor, etc., all at once. You're categorizing yourself as one thing because everything else comes after. Firstly, you need to actually understand how LinkedIn actually categorizes you. All right, cool. Now, I have another example. This Anthony Smith, who is Stephen Bartlett's head of trailers. I don't know how many of you guys are fans of Stephen Bartlett, but his LinkedIn profile is positioned in the best way I've seen. Social proof heavy immediately, even if you don't know that he's Direct CEO's trailer creator, you understand that he's got something to show us because he's worked with Star Wars, Marvel, Sky, Netflix, Disney, etc. So even if you don't have big logos like that, you can add logos that represent your industry. So if you're in the medical field, you can add the NHS, you can add, a hospital, etc. If you're a consultant, you can add KPMG, etc. Any logo that one of your clients could immediately recognize, that is important. And then you have a headline that is social proof heavy. So director of trailers at Direct CEO with Stephen Bartlett. Why is he saying that? Not because he wants to brag, but he wants you to categorize him as the person who's doing this thing again. So a question for you is, how would you then revamp your headline after what you've learned today, right? So put it in the chat. So if you're seeing this or seeing that, what would be your new LinkedIn headline based on that specific expert-led advice? So I'm curious about the logos now. Talk about what you do. Put in your headlines, guys. I'm looking at the chat. So Yashna, Deshna, I want you guys to put in the chat what your headlines would be. So we have Mariam here, project manager. Sepal, yeah, perfect. We've got Trajak here, distress depth expert with Deloitte. Nice, Maxim, nice, perfect. Landing page designer, full stack. Okay, we've got some good. Okay, content marketer, nice. Okay, content marketer for who though, or for what? What is the content marketing that you're doing? Content marketer for D2C experts, content marketer for entrepreneurs trying to build their personal brand, content marketer for B2B businesses trying to scale and go to market. Like we need that specificity, okay? Don't forget to be specific about the client that you're helping. So that is important. This is something that most people forget. They add the thing that they're doing, but they don't actually add the context of who they do it for or the specific thing. So if you're a social media marketing strategist, that's cool and nice, but you actually need to say who and how and why. So social media marketing expert for LinkedIn, for founders in the B2B space in AI. So that specificity is what matters. All right, let me take a sip of my drink because I think I'm starting to speak really fast. Okay, I'm still seeing the chat. Nice. Okay, cool. We've got in really good progress. Let's go. All right, cool. So number three, your profile is now treated like a prompt. And that's what I said earlier. And this is the data to show it up. So you can take a screenshot of this and read it after. But this is why I'm showing it to you, because I want you guys to understand that this is all based on actual real data, not just vibes, right? So something that I want you guys to start looking out for in your own content, and this is part of like our 12-part ecosystem for LinkedIn monetization, is signals of mastery. So skills that show up in your profile, skills of endorsements, skills that are implicit. So this is in your content. So based on your past content on LinkedIn. So what does LinkedIn mean by this? If you go to my LinkedIn profile right now, you're going to see me talking about three main things: entrepreneurship, business, and LinkedIn, right? That's it. That is it. Because I know that the LinkedIn algorithm is looking out for keywords and cues for it to recommend me to other people, right? I never deviate from those topics. Even though I'm a multifaceted human and I have different interests like investing, like, building other businesses outside of LinkedIn, like, powerlifting, like running marathons, etc. That is not on my LinkedIn that often unless I tie it back to my main thing. That is a signal of mastery. Signal of mastery is me becoming an expert in my niche and not deviating from anything outside of that, right? And this is actually very uncommon advice for social media, because if you come from Instagram, if you come from Facebook, if you come from YouTube, if you come from TikTok, most content creators and gurus and experts and strategies are going to tell you need to be the niche. You need to be known for everything that you do. And I completely disagree, right? This might ruffle some feathers, but you do not need to be the niche. You need to own a niche fast, because no one knows you on LinkedIn today. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I am reminding you, the thing that powers your business and your personal brand is your category of expertise. Nothing beyond that and nothing outside of that. No one's going to care about you before you make them care about what you do and how useful you can become. All right. And it's honestly not that scary. This doesn't really feel new to me. I started doing this 3 years ago, right? And I've been playing by these rules the entire time, literally. So I've seen this before it even came out. So again, this is why you should trust me, because I've seen this happen multiple times. The new algorithm is not news to me, but it can be news to you. I've been positioning myself as an expert all along, and same with our clients. I've always told them focus on one niche instead of trying to become the niche, right? You can do them both, but each one at each step. So all of this to say, the LinkedIn algorithm is one thing, but what you do despite of it is another, right? So revamping it will sure change your LinkedIn experience. So again, the signal of mastery here. So if you go to your LinkedIn today while you're watching this, if you're being very interactive in the chat, I want you guys to put what you wrote in the chat for me in your LinkedIn headline, and I promise you, you'll see immediate results. You'll see more people reaching out. You'll see more people being interested. You'll see a change in engagement over the next 60 days if you do it right. Okay, cool. Now we implement this in detail with the record month LinkedIn ecosystem model, right? So that is the signals of mastery profile optimization part, right? Now, that's also led to results like this. So Misha went from 200,000 impressions to over 1 million impressions. Sujita has gone from 10,000 impressions to over 100,000 impressions. These are all investors, people that work in travel and hospitality, people that are global agency owners. Every single niche, it works. It works across all types of industries, which leads to results like this. We have Sabrina, who is an amazing content creator on TikTok and YouTube. But then she started coming onto LinkedIn and she came to me. If people that have millions and millions and millions of followers across social media are coming here to learn from me, then it's for a reason, right? She went from 80,000 impressions to over 300,000 in a matter of months, right? So in all of these results, again, like the $3,000 retainer, like, people like Jody here going viral, having a full inbox of coaching requests, job opportunities, and speaking opportunities, it all can happen if you simply implement what I showed you guys earlier. All right. So now your profile isn't the only thing that matters, right? It's also your content. I want you to remember the main mission of LinkedIn. And what is that? The vision, like they have it on their website, is create economic opportunity for every single member of the global workforce. What am I highlighting? Why am I highlighting this? Why do you guys think that I am reminding you of this? Put it in the chat. Just curious. Why am I reminding you of LinkedIn's core fundamental visions and missions? Why do you think that is? For you to align with it, correct, correct, Ariane. Because most people, if you guys are coming here from Instagram or if you guys are coming here for Facebook ads, you will have seen that entertaining content works, that video content works, that talking about random things works in your life. Yes, but on LinkedIn it does not. Because you are creating content for a workforce, for people in corporate, for people that are building businesses, for CEOs, CMOs, CIOs, etc., who want to be entertained in a business way. So LinkedIn's mission is simple: connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. Every single person in this room right now is a professional in their own right. If you have a business, if you're a creator, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, if you're a founder, if you're someone in corporate, you are a professional talking about your professional expertise, and it should remain that way, right? It doesn't need to be wordy and fluffy, but it does need to be corporate in a way that it educates, in a way that it transforms people, in a way that it makes people feel like they're learning rather than just doom scrolling. Okay, so how does the LinkedIn feed work? Again, from someone at LinkedIn, Tim. At LinkedIn, we use AI and more recent LLMs to help identify the context of a post and determine whether the content is helpful and insightful for a job opportunity, for a career milestone, etc. For instance, if a post highlights a breakthrough in sustainable agriculture, a topic that resonates with a more niche audience, we use it to understand how to promote it to more people, right? So then let's get to how to create content based on all of these things that we've learned. Okay, so we need to talk about three things, and one of them is experiential authority over informational authority. And here's an example. Okay, so experiential authority, what is that, Lara? So how many of you guys have seen the multiple posts that always say, here's how to, get a job promotion in 2026, or here's how to build a business in 2026, or here's how to create content on LinkedIn, right? All of these are very generic and informational too often. And what you guys are probably also seeing is that there is a decrease in engagement and reach for these types of content, right? And so what you need to be doing instead is to add experiential authority. So what does that mean? My post here is an example, and I want you guys to look at it and potentially even take a screenshot of it and try and do something similar. My one person business is about to cross $200 a month, right? What is the experiential part of all of this? Can you guys tell me? How does this make it unique to me and my audience? Give me a comment in the chat. Right? Experience. The 200K a month. Your experiences, my one person. Yeah, Nayaf, you're right. So me saying it's you, it's mine. Yes, perfect. Amazing, guys, you're on it. So by me simply adding the how I versus how to mechanism, it allows people to feel like they can trust me. My one person business is about to hit revenue. Okay, and then I break it down. So zero outbound, zero cold emails, and here's the breakdown. So I go from saying, instead of here's how a business, here's how to scale to 200K a month, I am saying how I've done it. So how would you guys do it for your business in the chat? So you can say my consulting business is about to hit 10 clients in the last 30 days. Or for someone that is a designer, you can be like, my design business is about to, hit its first $10,000 a month, right? With zero outbound, with zero cold emails, etc. And you break it down exactly how you did it, right? This is something that you can use to add that experiential authority into your content. All right. Now you can also show what's happening in their world. So we have a post by Casey Brown here. I'm sure the algorithm isn't going to push this one, but if it does, white woman, listen up. You benefited from DEI, etc. So she's calling out a problem that her audience has, or people believe that they have, but no one's talking about. So for you, what would be that polarizing view that you can take, right? So instead of just documenting things that are happening in your market, you can also talk about it from your own point of view. So if you went to a networking event and you hated it because you didn't get any connections, because you didn't even make any clients, then you could talk about it. You can be like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that no one wants to say this, but networking events are dead in 2026. Here's exactly what you should be doing instead. Or if you don't believe in something, like let's say you're an agency owner and you're tired of having multiple SOPs, you can talk about how you believe AI is going to change the wave, right? You take something that most people agree with or disagree with and then give your take. It's not as hard as you believe, right? It is the same kind of like framework that's worked on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, but you just need to make it for LinkedIn in a way like this. So you can see the different ways that we are writing. So the one line, the formatting, etc. And we're going to show you that tomorrow on how to actually do this. But I want you to start paying attention as to how people are writing content on LinkedIn, right? So the next thing that I want you guys to understand is authentic content. So what I've been doing on LinkedIn to add that authenticity and not that personality, instead of doing, random updates like, I just ate this for lunch. Here's what it told me about B2B sales, right? No. Instead of saying like, oh, I am so excited to announce that I went to this networking event and I met this person and this person, also no. Or instead of saying, oh, I'm so happy to announce that I just got a new role, that's needs to end, ladies and gentlemen. If you're trying to post LinkedIn content and you're just like, oh, I just filmed a new YouTube video, here's the link, or I just wrote an entire blog on this, here's the link, that doesn't work because it doesn't tell a story, right? And again, for people to like you, they need to trust you first, right? For people to trust you first, they need to know you first, right? So the mechanism behind all of this is adding authenticity in a way that resonates with your business. Are we clear on this? So we don't need to be telling stories just for the sake of telling stories because someone told you that storytelling is the new way, right? I've seen all these documents, I've seen all these ads, I've seen the PayPal CEO, announcing that they have a head of storytelling for $300,000 a year. Like, yes, cool. But if your stories aren't about your business, they're not going to convert for your business. And so I have some examples here of how I've done it. So POV, you became the first millionaire in your family. I never thought I'd get to write this post, and it's a post about my dad. But immediately, instead of talking about my dad like, oh, I'm gonna start crying this, I just made my parents proud, I linked it back to me becoming a millionaire because that keyword essentially, fundamentally, positions me as someone that is doing business, not as a girl that just randomly made their parents proud. So it is important for you to recognize the power of keywords. And that's what we were saying at the start. So becoming an expert is about that, understanding your main domain of expertise, right? Again, the second one, POV, you're building a business in London. Again, what is the keyword? Business. Surrounded by eight-figure founders because of LinkedIn. Again, business, eight-figure founders, LinkedIn, etc. All of these keywords are within the first two lines. The reason why your content is not performing on LinkedIn is not because the LinkedIn algorithm hates you. It's because it's not specific enough. It is not really detailing to someone why they should listen to you, right? The algorithm doesn't hate you. Your content is just not good enough yet, right? But I'm teaching you how to do that today. Are we clear on this? If you were to write a story today, do you know what the fast line should look like? Do you? Tell me in the chat as well. Do you recommend using hashtags? No. Okay, keywords. Yeah, cool. Right, amazing. Nice. So let's move on. Today, LinkedIn essentially is prioritizing relevancy over recency. So I don't know how many of you guys scroll on LinkedIn every single day. I do, definitely, way more than I should at this point. So I am seeing a lot of content that is 2 weeks old, a month old, etc. because it's prioritizing relevancy. Your post can actually reach more people after you posted. Before it was the opposite, and that's why people were joining engagement pods because they believed that the way to get more reach is to get more people commenting on their post immediately. However, now with the new LinkedIn algorithm changes, when something feels like it's resonating, even if it's 2 weeks after, it will still get pushed across different profiles in their feed. So then you posted content, it distributed mainly via other people's networks, so fast second connections, etc. But now you can see it as suggested content because LinkedIn features it to more people because they can tell that it's interesting, that it's expert led. Also, there is longer shelf time for posts. Okay, are you guys still with me? Give me a yes in the chat. Give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, amazing. We're locked in. Cool. Now, all this to say that the new algorithm is now asking, could this post have been written by anyone or could it have been written by only one person, right? That's why when you log on to LinkedIn and you see another infographic sheet, you're like, anyone could have written this, Lara. Anyone could have written this. So how do I stand out? Now, how do you do it? Well, I'm not going to give you more information because I think I've gave you plenty today. So here's a system that I use every single day, even to this date, even this morning, to create content to match this new LinkedIn algorithm without worrying about my impressions. Here's how I live a swift life where I can just focus on building the businesses instead of focusing another day on looking at my impressions and counting the numbers and followers, etc. So here it is. Here's the new algorithm post positioning system. And I want you guys to look at it and pay and take a screenshot. All right. So the core topic and then having adjacent topics. All right. So your core topic could be being a solopreneur, being a consultant, being a marketeer, being an engineer, being a doctor. Now you have to have adjacent subjects underneath, right? So adjacent subject for a content marketing strategist, okay? It could be going virality on the platform. It could be lead generation, and then it could be a personal story of you. But all of these adjacent subjects should all then match with your offer, right? Because the reason why you're probably not getting sales on LinkedIn is also because when you post content, it doesn't match your offer. I've seen this way too many times. So people will be creating content about, traveling, remote work, but then they'll be offering a high ticket service on how to scale a business, doing X, Y, and Z. So the remote work posts don't match their actual offer. And that's why they're not getting any leads, because when they do decide to talk about their offer once in a while, their audience is a bit confused. And so we don't want your audience to be confused anymore. We want them to be begging you to actually sell them something, right? And this is how you create that demand, because you're building you're educating them on the thing that they need. Every single post that you ever create should be solving a problem that your end product actually solves. All right. So my CEO is telling me to hurry up, so I'm gonna try. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it all needs to connect to your one thing. So what is that one thing for you? It is not being a content strategist. It is not being an AI expert. That is not your one thing. It's something else. It's something that has a direct outcome tied to it. Okay? So, SEO strategist for B2B businesses scaling to over 1 million a year. That is the one thing, right? And underneath, you can have the education. All right? So, for example, here's my secret algorithm proof system. I really try to not share this because I don't want people copying it. But here is for you guys today, an exclusive for me. My main thing is building online businesses on LinkedIn, correct? So the three adjacent topics are content. So how to write better content, how to go viral on LinkedIn, how to monetize. Then I talk about email, then I talk about funnels, etc. And the entrepreneur life. So when I'm speaking at events, etc. And all of this then ties to every single one of my business models. I talk about content, and then I tell people that I have Clio, my software. I tell people that I have my 4-week program, the Known Club, where I help coaches, entrepreneurs, and solopreneurs scale their businesses online. And then I had literally LA, which was my ghostwriting agency. So everything made sense. It was a funnel for everything. None of it was spread around. It was all around one thing, right? So I want you guys to remember, if you guys remember anything from today, is focus on your one thing, not everything. Here's how it would work for our consultant. So please take a screenshot if you're a consultant. This is going to be super helpful for you. And this is how it would work for you. So here's a screenshot so you can take it and then put your office in there and then come back tomorrow and tell me what you actually came up with. All right, cool. So this is what is going to get you started, but as you can tell, I'm being told to hurry up. There's a lot more, and we're gonna be covering a lot more tomorrow. I will cover it in depth, and I'm gonna show you the in-depth way where we help clients get their content ready, their positioning, and also how to get leads from LinkedIn. But right now, the main question that everybody's probably asking is, how do you identify what makes your experience unique? Right? Lara, you're saying all of this, but I actually don't understand how to create authentic content. I don't know. There's nothing authentic about me. There's nothing special about me. Who here has said that before? Right? So many people. I have this all the time. All of our clients are always like, yeah, I don't have anything special to say, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing special to my business, etc. Or other people are asking, oh, and how do you turn that into content that consistently gets rewarded by the algorithm? Lara, you're showing us all of these things, but how do I know that this is actually going to help my impressions? Well, here's what where we go into the second pillar. Why most personal brands won't survive 2026. And I don't want to scare you with this, but this is the truth. So, like I said at the start, the old playbook doesn't work like this, where you post a motivational quote and it goes viral. Like that doesn't work anymore. When there is AI slop that everybody has seen, is ChatGPT generated or Claude generated, or where you're tying a random lesson with a profession. I proposed to my girlfriend this weekend. Here's what I learned about B2B sales. That used to work. And it can work sometimes today, but it's not leading anyone to an outcome. It's definitely not going to lead anyone to buy from you, right? So, starting in 2026, the algorithm is getting even more aggressive about punishing generic content. And we've seen this. So, this is why we see less of these and more of these. So, what is the difference between this and this? Well, this is very niche. So we have a photo here from David. This is a genuine graph research, right? 2,000 likes. So for anyone that's ever wondering, okay, my niche is too niche, no one cares, then what is this, right? We also have a post from Adam. Adam here got 8,000 likes talking about ARR and SaaS. And again, if you're someone that is an expert in your space and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if this is going to work for me, then this is the reality. It does. Because LinkedIn wants experts talking about super niche, nerdy topics that no one else is talking about, that Instagram can't do, that TikTok can't do, that you can only do on LinkedIn, because people care about the nitty gritty expertise, not about the fluffy, viral, doom scrolling tactics that everybody's using. It's not about the top 10 hooks that are going to get you visibility. It's about the top 10 ways that you can get visibility to your one thing. Okay, so we get into the third pillar, and that is the three things that you need to do to become an exception, just like Adam here, just like David here, and just like Alan here. That even with a butter post that he was able to tie directly into real estate, that's how he was able to then go viral for the first time, right? Now, I know we're running out of time, so just a quick reminder and a quick break for everyone. Let me know guys in the chat if you guys are having fun. If I'm speaking too quickly, I apologize. I get too excited about LinkedIn. So upcoming in a while, we do have the roast session. So if you want to be here and you want to get your content roasted, please send your profile link to my CEO Leva. Her LinkedIn is right there, Leva Javed. So please send her your LinkedIn or just message her, and she's gonna send me your profile when we get to the roast, okay? So who here, are we good? We good? Pillar 2 was confusing. I'll explain that in a minute as well. Okay, are we good? Excellent. Amazing, Miguel. We love this. All good. Amazing session. Are we enjoying it? No, no links on the chat. No links in the chat. I'm gonna remove you guys. No, okay, I'm gonna ignore that. Okay, cool. Right. Now, we're at the hour mark. Cool, but I did wait 5 minutes for you guys to get started, so we're like literally on the dot. Okay, at the end of the day, this is what matters. LinkedIn's engineering blog has published exactly how they rank content, right? Again, this is not based on what I just see and what I want you guys to hear. It's literally based on this. It's unfortunate for me because I would love to say multiple things, but it's not. So this is what we're basing it on. Real LinkedIn engineering expertise and what they're telling us. So this is how they actually score content. So they basically, you post a post, you go through content quality scoring, and then it gets triggered by, the AI is asking itself, is the content good? Is it relevant? Does it have the right keywords? Is it expert led? Is it fluffy? Is it generic? So then it ranks it, and then it sends it out to more people. That's essentially how it works. Okay, so that's LinkedIn's spam fighting strategy. So you may be asking yourselves, what makes the winner's content good, right? How do I win on LinkedIn when I have expertise, when I have a good offer, but I'm not getting any engagement? Well, the personal brands that survive are the most distinctive. They're not the best, they're not the most viral, they're the most distinctive. Case in point, we have my favorite person in the planet, Guy, who is the hyperscale hero. So if you can read his headline for a bit, power key monetization for your data center infrastructures. Does anyone understand what that means? No. Do I understand what that means? Also, no. But Guy, like many of you, he started posting content consistently on LinkedIn because he heard around that LinkedIn is a new thing and is the best way to build a personal brand and also start monetizing and also building a business. And then as a result, Guy has gone from 5,000, 10,000 followers to then 49,000 followers, multiple viral posts, across different topics, super niche, 5,000 likes here, 3,000 likes there, 300,000 likes here, all about his one thing. And I show you everyone this because Guy is the best example of what happens when you implement the ecosystem that I showed you at the start. Well, even if you believe that it may not work, because it does. If it works for Guy, someone who has a hyper niche that is so crazy complicated, but still gets the engagement that most of us dream of having. Guy has more engagement than me. How crazy is that? So I want to show you that as an example. So here's his content. You can see he's 62 years old. He had lunch with me one day, and then he started posting on LinkedIn. 90 days later, 3 million impressions, 10,000 new followers, 1.5 million members reached, and then he understands who he is and who he wants to be. And who he wanted to be is the educator in this scaling, models, system, etc. And he's done it. If he's a 62-year-old man who was completely new to content creation in LinkedIn, I'm asking you guys this. Do you guys believe that you can do it as well? And hopefully the answer is yes, right? We also have another case in point, Alexis, making network engineering cool again, right? Alexis has gone from 0 followers to over 90,000 followers as well, talking about her niche expertise. So cables, networking, engineering, etc. So again, I'm showing you this because I want you guys to understand that LinkedIn is not just for people that already have authority, that already have influence, that already super viral. It's for the people that have expertise, not just people that have following. Okay. So, all right. So let me break down the 3 things that you absolutely must do to be the exception. All right. So exception strategy number 1, develop uncommon opinions. So what does this mean for you? For me, it meant talking about work-life balance. For Nicholas, it meant talking about talent shortage. So, an uncommon opinion doesn't need to be controversial, like Emma Grede, 3-day work week, 3-day mother, or something like that. It doesn't need to be like Stephen Bartlett talking about COVID. It's not that. It's something that is controversial within your industry. It is something that everybody's thinking, but no one else is saying, right? And I'm sure that so many of you have that. So that's how you build that's how you build your exceptional personal brand, by saying things that no one else is talking about. Because today, again, because of all of this AI content, because of all of these templates and worksheets, etc., people are starting to sound the same. And if you are here today, you don't want to do that. You want to talk about the things that you want to talk about in the way that you want to talk about them, but you need a way to actually make them work. And that is by tying it directly to your expertise, like I showed you earlier, but also showing that you have an unconventional point of view. So that is how you do it. Now, how do you develop uncommon opinions? So you pick your one topic. So it could be engineering, it could be cables, it could be AI. Then you tie your personal belief. Maybe you're in the AI industry, but you don't believe that AI is going to take over the world because you believe that human experience is a lot better. And then you tie it with lived experience. Maybe you're an AI hacker, but then you went to a networking event and it actually had a lot more, you had a lot more progress than you would have done just using AI. So that's how you leverage attention. You use a core topic that is trending or that is trending in your industry and you tie it with personal beliefs. So for me, my usual favorite is talking about the LinkedIn algorithm. So I usually go and say, everybody's talking about the LinkedIn algorithm, but no one's talking about how to get clients, right? So I'm tying it back to something that is trending, the LinkedIn algorithm, as always, but then I tie it back to my core expertise. So for you, it could be like everybody's talking about SEO and how it's changing with AI, but no one's talking about YouTube and how it's the biggest accelerator for revenue generation, right? Those things combined, when you put them together in one line, they create controversy and they also gather attention, okay? Now, here's an example from Jake. So this needs to stop. I just watched someone writing LinkedIn posts with their hands, right? This got over 1,000 likes. He took 5 minutes to write this and it went viral because he was literally explaining something that a lot of people are doing. Now, the next one, and I will always reference Jake because he's one of the best writers I know on LinkedIn. He's also my co-founder. I've been saying this for 17 months. The data keeps proving the same thing. And he's taken a screenshot from SEMrush or Ahrefs website to show what he talks about and what he's going to be addressing, right? So it doesn't need to be anything crazy. Like here, and I want you guys to look at this. I've been saying this for 17 months. You could say that as well. You could be like, I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks. The LinkedIn algorithm hasn't changed. Or you could say, I've been saying this for 17 months as well. The AI is not going to take over, or whatever it is that you believe in. All right. Exception strategy number two: show unique and real lift expertise. So again, we have Jake here. I've been saying this for 17 months. Instead of Jake just saying, here's the new Ahrefs SEO update that's happening, blah, 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 Jake added his own personal lift experience. And that's what I was saying at the start again, right? That is lift experience, not just something that is regurgitated information for just the sake of regurgitating. He's adding his own, view on it. He's adding his own expertise. He's positioning himself as someone that has been seeing this for decades or like months. Now, exception strategy number three: own a concept in your market. So what does this mean? Most founders build their brand around their title or industry. So most of you guys maybe here, maybe you guys have on your headlines, I'm a consultant who helps with digital transformation, or I'm a coach who works with executives, right? You need to be owning a concept instead. So Justin Welsh, Solopreneurship, Matt Lakajeb, Selva Chat, Likes and Cash by Jacob Molina. We all know this, right? So have you guys thought about the concept that you guys want to own? Because in order to start growing on LinkedIn, people need to recognize you for one thing. And this is something that I've been saying for the last hour and a half. What is your one thing? What is the one thing that you want people to tie you with? And that ideally should be tied to your offer. So if your offer is creative design, then your one thing should be creative design, right? Or your one thing should be creative designing for B2B or go to market or whatever it is. Your one thing should be tied to that. So your industry is full of people with similar experience and similar credentials. We know this, but there is only one person with your experiences, with your beliefs and your methodologies, because you've worked really hard to get these. So why not talk about them? Why not use them? You need to stop being overly humble about what you've achieved or what you've researched or what you've done, even if you don't have any clients yet, even if you don't have any new clients in your new offer, right? You need to understand that whatever you've had, whatever expertise you have, you should be able to leverage it, because that is like the pivot that most people don't take, is that they don't use what they currently have because they're waiting to get that thing, but it's never going to come. If I waited in 2022 when I had that broken chair for the full studying the 30 to get started, I would have never gotten it. I just did it before I was ready. I started using myself as a case study. I started using my first client as a case study. And then after I got more case studies, I got more experience, I changed my niche, I expanded into my niche, I became the niche of one after 4 years. Okay? So who has understood everything here? Are we good? Yes, we have Huma, we have Sarah, we have Miranda. Amazing. Thank you guys for staying. It means a lot. I know I talk very fast, but we have a lot of content to talk about. All right. Uh, and I'm gonna answer the comments in a second as well. Don't worry. Okay, cool. Now, the next step that I want you guys to take is your identity audit. So I'm about to share a little worksheet for you before you can build so you can build a distinctive brand. So you need to know what makes you distinctive. Okay, so here's the identity audit that I want you guys to start building. So there are 3 questions for your identity, and this is what's going to build your main thing that makes you distinctive. Okay, so if you've been wondering, okay, Lara, how do I do it? This is how. So firstly, you need to understand what belief about your industry do you hold that most people disagree with. So you could be about the golden handcuffs. It could be about hustle culture. It could be about shiny promotions. Thing number 2 is, what mistake did you make that taught you something that nobody else seems to know? I didn't start my business because I thought it was risky. I sacrificed holidays, etc. Number 3, what process or method have you developed that gets better results than the standard approach? I am sure that every single person in this room has understood something that most people haven't. I saw a lot of consultants here. I saw a lot of solopreneurs. What is the one thing that most people don't talk about? It could be about an SOP. It could be a simple hiring process. It could be something about content that a lot of people maybe don't understand, maybe video creation. Something that people don't talk about enough because it's too boring or it's just too niche. That thing should be the thing that you double down on, because people are looking for the new thing always. They are looking for the new thing that is gonna make them skip the line and get them to the actual result. But just because no one's talking about it doesn't mean that it doesn't work, right? And so ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to turn all of these things. And if you took a screenshot of this sheet, I'm going to give you 2 seconds to do this. If you took a screenshot of this sheet, then I'm going to tell you tomorrow how to implement this into content, actually how to format it, how to make it go viral, how to get leads from it, etc. Don't worry, we're not just going to skip over this today. I just wait till tomorrow. All right. So the agenda for tomorrow is the content formats that go viral and get you leads without a big following, the real reasons why your lead magnet posts aren't working, etc. Okay. Now, step number 2 is finding your unfair advantage. And this is something that I literally say 24/7. You need to understand what your unfair advantage is, right? Do you guys know what yours is yet? So, what is the thing that will actually make someone want to follow you? For some people, it's their unique life experiences, like my friend Timo here. I grew up here, and he's pointing at the council house that he used to live at. So that post got 46,000 likes on LinkedIn, right? So that is an unfair advantage that no one else has. Maybe some people, and the people that had it, they're not talking about it. So when they see it, they like it. And other people resonate with something around those lines of like, building a business after, making it out of the ends, like Timo would say. Or strategic arbitrage. You're taking something that is trending outside of LinkedIn and you're making it work for your market. So that's all about market timing. So if you guys are in AI, if you guys are in hiring, recruitment, etc., you can talk about the layoffs that are happening. You can talk about the new AI code Anthropic news that's happening and break down how they actually matter to your ideal client. You can also use monetizable expertise. So your unfair advantage could be actually teaching people how to make more money using what they currently have. So that is a high income scale and that is a high value scale. So you have 4 to pick from. You can choose all 4, or you can just choose one, right? So put in the chat what would be that for you. Maybe you moved to a different country. Maybe you started a new business. Maybe you got fired from your job. Maybe you were part of the layoffs and then you started building your own business as a result. Maybe you started traveling around the world and you started building a business. Maybe you gone from corporate to solopreneur because you got burned out. Those are unfair advantages. Just because you think that they're boring and that a lot of people are using them, it doesn't mean that you can't. It just means that you need to learn how to write them in a distinctive way, which I showed you. So an example is Hans, who is one of our Clio customers. So his unfair advantage was that he is in corporate. So his post was, I recently sat through 87 slides and a ton of information. Blah, 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 blah. Boards don't need to know everything. And then he gave quick actionable advice, he wrote it perfectly, and as a result, he got his first viral post after 2 weeks of working with us. So if someone like Hans in a boring niche in corporate, helping board executives, etc., can do that, imagine what you could do with your amazing niche that you love so much. All right. Now, just as a reminder, we have a worksheet for you guys that we're going to be sending after the 3 days. We have the virality and lead gen ultimate board, which we're going to be sending after the 3 days. And we also have a GPT profile optimizer where you get to put your LinkedIn profile, it gets to roast you and it writes it for you. Okay, cool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten to my favorite part of the day. We're about to roast a few people. Who is excited for this? Thank you so much for listening to me for the last hour and a half. I hopefully you guys learned so much. So Leva here has sent me a few LinkedIn posts already, so you don't need to send them to me. All right. So first off, we have Janice from LA. Janice, are you here? Put a yes in the chat if you're ready to get roasted. Janice, I'm waiting for you. Who here is for Janice? Yeah. Okay, Lara, this was so good. Lara, this was so good. You actually delivered proper value, and that is so rare for on these free masterclasses. This thanks to my team. Please give a big shout out to my CEO Leva, who is literally the person that makes this happen for me. So give a hell yeah, Leva, to her in the chat if you guys enjoy this. She's the person that tells me off for talking too fast as well. All right, cool. So Janice, hello. So Janice, let's get some context. So if I was the LinkedIn algorithm, I would be looking at this really quickly. So I know your name. I don't have anything in your banner. So leadership, advisor, and psychologist, helping organizations rethink burnout, performance, and decision-making speaker. Okay, cool. So hopefully you took my advice at the start and you revamped your headline. It seems like it might have happened. I don't know. I would love to believe that. So firstly, yes, amazing. So leadership advisor and psychologist are helping organizations rethink burnout, performance, and decision-making. And then speaker. All right, cool. So I kind of understand what you do. And then I'm gonna look at your profile. So founder, JC, psychological services, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm getting from this is that you potentially help businesses um, or advisors, individuals. Okay, cool. So I am getting a little bit of unclarity here. So leadership advisor and psychologist. So we need to sort of lead with an outcome. So ideally, the outcome should be something like leadership advisor and psychologist for high performers in corporate. So this may not be the case, but what I'm getting at is that here in the second like line, you should be telling people where they're going because I know here helping organizations rethink burnout, performance, and decision making. Okay, but what is the outcome? We need to be thinking about the active outcome that would make someone choose you amongst all of these performance coaches around the world, right? And Janice, you can chat to me in the chat as well. Hey guy, how's it going? Okay, cool. Now, after that, we can also, I want to get into the content as well, because that is what, yes, that makes sense to write the outcome. Okay, perfect. So we agree. Perfect, Janice. The second thing is the banner. So, Janice, right now, I only see your logo. And also here, you don't have a logo on your head on your profile. So this makes it feel like your company is not legit, but it is because you've been doing it for what, 2 years? So a simple change that you can make is just add a logo to your profile to your company page because it matters for visibility and also for trust. Okay. Then the third thing is your banner. So we don't have any social proof. Like I showed earlier, your banner needs to have social proof. So what is that? It could be a testimonial of someone that you've helped if you don't have the logos yet. But if you do have the logos, that would be important. So if we look at my profile, for example, you can see all the big, big, big logos that make people trust me. And why is that? This is based on the halo effect, which is a psychological term, which you probably already know. So when people see that someone that they like or like they trust us, they're gonna then put that trust onto us. And then also there is nothing here that communicates your unique value proposition, right? So what is that value proposition for you? So we have it here, leadership advice and psychologists helping organizations rethink burnout. So your value proposition should be like helping B2B organizations turn their current employees into high performers in less than 90 days. Something like that. If you just look at the keywords that I used, high performers, helping, turning 90 days employees, high performers. So something like that that communicates what you have in your headline on your banner it would immediately help you. Because immediately when someone comes from your content to your profile, they're also kind of like looking for other signals. Same with the LinkedIn algorithm. Now, the third thing that I want to look at is obviously your content. So, Janice, your content right now, if I'm being quite honest, I don't mean to be rude. You're here to get roasted. It is that your content kind of looks like an ad right now, and we don't want that. We want people to trust you. Right now, we have certificates, we have like these videos, etc. But these like video content is not going to work for you right now to start growing your audience because yes, LinkedIn video can work, but you as a beginner right now, you need to start building trust. And the fastest way to build trust is actually by doing text and image, like Hayden and Guy have done, which they can come and explain in a second as well. So we need to focus on your three things, your three distinctive things in your one thing. So this post, for example, a pattern that I've been noticing in organizations, leaders move quickly to make decisions. This would have been perfect, but there is no image tying anything to it. So if we were to rewrite this, for example, you can see I've a pattern that I've been noticing in organizations. After consulting with 32 plus organizations, here's a pattern that makes the 1% succeed. So immediately you can see the drastic change in specificity and how we're adding the how I mechanism that I showed at the start. And then we get into the crux of how to do it. So let's get into this. So after that, and then we can lead with the value. So after consulting with 23 organizations, here's a pattern that makes the 1% succeed. It's not about the right information. It's the speed they implement it at. the best way to do it for B2B, blah, 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 is this. And then you break it down into a step by step. So 1x, 2x, 3x, 3, 4x, 3, 5x. And immediately you're telling someone their problem, you're giving them valuable advice, and then you're closing with your own thoughts. So it could be like this. And then please no hashtags, they don't work. So no hashtags, and then that's it. So if you were to create content like this, it is short, it's concise, it's focused on one outcome without it being too long because your main post was like over 1,000 words and it's not really leading them to an actionable part. We want to show them that you know exactly what you are saying and how you can help them immediately. We don't want to gatekeep anything. We want to show that we are the person that they can come to for the right systems. Because in your niche, for example, there are so many people coaching, but there is only one you who has this right strategy. So if you have maybe a proprietary framework, then you can talk about that. So if let's say your proprietary framework is 6 steps, so you can talk about your 6 step proprietary framework to turning leaders into high achievers or something like that. Where is she at? Janice, are we good? Are you happy with this? Was this helpful? Let's wait for Janice and then I'm gonna get into the next one. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, Janice. Give it a clap clap for Janice in the chat. Clapping emoji because she's done so well. Amazing. Okay, we have the second one, and Leva is telling me to just do the profile. So I'm sorry, but I have to move on. I don't want you guys to be here for 3 hours. All right, cool. We have Eva Thompson. Eva, are you in the chat with us today? Lara, are you saying we shouldn't use hashtags anymore? You shouldn't use hashtags at all. Janice, where you at? I'm gonna give Janice 5 seconds, otherwise, Leva's gonna send me another profile. Okay, one for Janice, two for Janice, three for Janice, four for Janice, five, five Janice. Okay, Leva, send me another profile, please. She's Evie. Oh, Evie, sorry. Evie's here. Evie's there. Sorry. Evie, where is she? Where is she? Okay, cool. Evie, perfect. Evie Thompson. Okay, so founder of Joyously, UX UI for mission-led SaaS, designing products people actually love, coming back to. Your mission got them in. Joyously help keeps. Okay, so I actually had a conversation with someone earlier today that their entire thing was about joy. Joy is broad, right? Your clients want niche. What does a person that has a software want? They want better customer retention. They want more clients. They want better customer experience. I am not seeing this in your headline. Founder of Joyously. I don't know what Joyously is. And even if you tell me 10 times, I probably will forget. Most people that I work with, they don't even remember the name of my businesses. And that's fine because they remember the outcome. So I want you to bear that in mind. So instead of saying founder of Joyously, you could be like, building building high converting UX UI for B2B SaaS. Building high combustion UI UX UI for B2B SaaS. Whatever. So something like this. Obviously, you probably have your specific niche or mission-led SaaS. I guess it would be important for me to understand what mission-led is. So maybe that works in your niche, but to me, as someone that maybe your goal is building your personal brand around being the expert in UX UI, I would remove mission-led and I would add something that is a lot more tangible. So high converting, high demand, viral, etc. That encompasses what that destination is. So most people that come to you, what is the thing that they want? They want designing products that actually that people love coming back to. So high converting. That is this, but in a keyword that makes a lot more sense for people that is less worthy. All right. So let's keep it at that. And then, founder, founder of, okay, maybe I would say worked with 43, 44 plus SaaS And then something else like, you know, let's see here, X corporate. Let's say, I don't know, just to add this, just to make it make sense for everyone. So X Amazon. So like we're adding some social proof here. Or you can add it here. Maybe you work with Microsoft, maybe you work with Anthropic, maybe you work with something else, something else. So we add that positioning into your headline. All right. And so the same should go on your banner. So your mission got them in. Also, if you can see, like I'm struggling to read it because the UX of the banner isn't as clear. So we need to also use fonts that are easily legible. So as you guys can see, I'm kind of blind. So it would help people that are blind like me read this easier. And also joyously, I know it's the name of your business, but again, joy may not communicate what you expect people to understand. And that for that, we need to zoom out a little bit and understand, okay, so what is the actual value proposition here? High conversion, high retention, low churn, virality. That it should be. And then in your banner, we should also have either a testimonial or something that really justifies why someone should choose you amongst every single person that is trying to, hire someone that is a UX UI designer. All right, cool. Amazing. So who here is happy from that? Right, Leva, we good? We gotta do, okay, cool. All right, perfect. Happy? Did you guys learn anything? What are two things that you guys took away from all of that? Let me know. Anything that you guys are going to implement into your content today? I'm gonna answer some questions in a second. Yeah, be more specific, have a niche. Not happy because I didn't get roasted. We'll have time for that in a second. Focusing on one thing. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Evie, hopefully that helped. Change the headline. No more hashtags. Does language matter? Yes, it does. If you are building a personal brand, I will always recommend to go all in on English. All right, cool. Are we ready to go back into the presentation? Yes. Give me a hell yes, because we're about to finish and we're going to lock in for day 2. All right. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back into the presentation. All right. Again, my face, big, big, big. Zoom it in, no, zoom it out, big on my face and the presentation as well. All right. Now, question for you. What are the 3 things you've realized you've been doing wrong and you need to change? Right? Give me the 3 things, ladies and gentlemen. I know some of you said hashtags, specificity, the one thing. Yes, you always over deliver, Lara. Thank you. My pleasure. Hook, broad, using unfair advantage, the one thing, keywords, hashtags, simplicity. Need to be more specific. All right. Amazing. We've gotten out of today what you guys expected. I think yes. Now, a quick recap before the Q&A. So we've done 5 things today. I debunked most of the LinkedIn myths that a lot of you guys thought that were real. I said no. I told you guys about the end of generic thought leadership. I also told you what it takes to get attention and leads, and also told you how to become the exception in 2026. And as a gift from me, I also roasted 2 of you. Now, let me share some stories from people who've implemented everything. So let's say we took people like Evie, right? Evie, let's say if she worked with us for 6 weeks, this is what would have happened. So we have people like Hayden, who is one of my clients, who you also meet today. He started out feeling lost. His content maybe wasn't working as well as he should have. He wasn't being positioned as the authority that he so rightfully is, right? And so after a few months of working with us, Hayden landed another $200,000 deal. Can you say, you can see it, can you effing believe it? This shows that even though I have been inconsistent and my brand approach is everywhere, I showed up and DMs are crazy, right? So imagine. He's gonna come in and tell us about his story and how he did it in a second as well. So Hayden stick to frameworks. He took a lot of coaching. He tried everything, and eventually he started growing. And he has a message here. I wanted to share how powerful LinkedIn is and this community can be. I've been posting consistently for a while, and guess what? We found this week that we won. So Hayden has not only won more clients, but he's also won an engagement, community, etc. So his content is going viral, he's doing well, but he's also getting clients and he's loving his LinkedIn experience. And that is what matters to me the most. Also, have you guys heard about Misha? If you've been on LinkedIn for, I don't know, 10 minutes, you've probably seen her as well. Nisha started She recently had quit her job. She was scared and she was starting a brand new business, right? Her goal of 2024 was to hit 15K. Today, Misha is over that and she is now able to, get paid to fly out. She's coming to Cannes with me to be an official speaker. Um, she's getting paid, high five, six figures. She's making six figures a year, etc. You can see her testimonial here. Joined Lara, posted every single day for 30 days, built momentum, signed her a ghostwriting client worth over 1 billion, launched her one-to-one community offer, etc. So she has seen the power of LinkedIn. Now we have people like Sophia who started the program not really understanding what to do. And then now she's able to generate 10 leads every single week, growing her audience from 0 to 24,000 followers, and generated four figures in her first month living in Brazil. Right? For all of my Latin American people, you know how much money that is in that currency. And so that means a lot to me because as a fellow Latina, it always makes me happy to see all the people from around the world succeeding. So I want to remind you guys of what I said at the start. I want you guys to get to that record month that you told me at the start. Some of you said $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. Other people said multi-millions of dollars. I don't know about that, but today there were three engines to it, right? And you have a choice to make today. So fix these problems the old, hard, slow way. So you could take all of the advice that you had today, and you're gonna try and implement it yourself. It may work, or you can take the elevator to get to your goal. At the beginning of this training, ladies and gentlemen, I said, is it fair if I take a few minutes at the end to show you where to get more help? And you guys said yes. So I am going to keep my word as we're nearly at the end of this 3-day masterclass. So you could take all of this new information and experiment around with it. But honestly, after mentoring for over the last 3 years and helping over 3,000 founders, here's what I learned. And I said this at the very start. Information without implementation is just entertainment. The biggest challenge that most people face isn't knowing what to do because, guys, some of you guys have been following me on LinkedIn for 4 years. Some of you have had YouTube marathons of all of my content. But there's a reason why you're here. It's because even with all of that content, there is no clear way for you to get started, right? And so the real solution is having the right support, having the right accountability, having the right guidance, like people like Carl here, who went from £40,000 a month to £100,000 in 4 months by implementing our advice. That is one of the 3,000 people that we can show you that we helped, right? You also need the consistency to keep on going from, a few thousand impressions to multi-million impressions every single month. All of that is going to be able to help you show up differently, think differently, and position yourself differently. Now, a quick question. Who here would like to be my next success story? Just like Carl, just like Misha, just like Sophia, who here would love to be mentioned in my next masterclass as my winning case study? Yeah, we've got Nelson, we've got Ashley, we've got Jocelyn. Amazing. Right. Well, that kind of transformation is hard to do alone. I mean, I tried myself and it took me 4 years. And figuring it out by yourself, it takes time. This is the life cycle that most creators go through, and maybe you guys can relate. You start strong, you take some initial action, life gets busy, you start second guessing your content. Who here has been there? You went to an amazing masterclass and you were like, yes, I've got it. And then what happened? You drop off because things happen. Life happens, right? And then you start becoming bitter, you start thinking that the LinkedIn algorithm hates you, and then you end up quitting. And then 6 months later, you're like, oh, I'm ready to come back. But then by then it's too late. This is the problem I have specialized in solving. Scaling your influence to multi 6 and 7-figure months using a record month ecosystem. And I showed you it at the start. It is literally right here. It's the 12 different parts. And today we've nailed one of these puzzle pieces, understanding the new roles of the LinkedIn algorithm. But over the next 2 days, we'll nail the next two. So a winning content strategy and designing a revenue model. But like I said, there are still 9 more things that we need to implement that we implement with our clients one-to-one in our mentorships directly. All right. Now, who's we? Why do I keep on referring as we if there's only one person? Well, we is the people that coach inside of my 4-week program, the Known Club. So we have Shan Hanif Any of you guys know Shan? Maybe you guys know Iman Gaji, Grace Beverly, Ali Avdal, Chris Williamson, Newtonic. Sound familiar? Well, Shan is the person behind all of these businesses. He's the person that has been able to scale even my business to multi-millions of dollars. That now he is going to be one of the coaches inside of the known club. Now, we don't also just have Shan and not just me, but we also have Harry, one of my star case studies that started working with me 3 years ago. So Harry is a past student and he's gone from recruiter, he's quit his 9 to 5 to now being a multi six-figure agency owner in the gaming niche, right? And we also have Jake Wood and Rob Hoffman, my two co-founders for my software Clio, also coming to teach you the best ways to leverage content and start getting clients. So Rob and Jake have not built just one, but have built four multi-million dollar businesses without running a single ad in their entire lives, right? Four businesses, not just one, four. Now, that is the power of LinkedIn. We also have my mentor, Richard Moore, who is an honor for me to have. He's going to be showing you how to social sell with elegance, how to send DMs that don't feel cringy. We also have Hayden teaching a specific masterclass on how to socially sell and how he's gotten to where he is today just by following simple frameworks and staying consistent on the platform. And also, we have Connor, the man behind a lot of the emails that we've sent you and some of them that got you here. So, he's also going to be showing you how to not just create content, but also how to generate traffic from emails. The emails that Connor and I have sent together have taken us from, $5,000 per email, $10,000 an email, $20,000 per single email. So if you want to learn how to do all of that, well, stay tuned. But look, we can't do it all one-to-one for everyone because all of us are booked out. So I created an intensive 4-week business mastermind called the Known Club. And a lot of you guys may have heard of it. A lot of you guys may have not. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So earlier, we took on a small group of people, and here's how they're doing now. So we've got Vicky here, who is an alcohol therapist. She's gone from not really having any impressions to hitting 50, 60, a million impressions after working with us for 4 weeks. Okay. She is an alcohol therapist. And again, back to the niche. LinkedIn works for every niche, and this is proof, right? We also have Honorata here, who is an urban master planner. Again, back to the niche, right? If Honorata can do it, talking about urban design, getting over 100,000 impressions per one post, imagine what you could do with your bigger niche than urban master planning, right? We also have people like Alexander, who is one of my new favorite case studies. He started the Known Club last January, and today, one of his posts literally went viral on week 1. But virality wasn't his goal. His goal was attention and building his personal brand. Today, he's getting 52K views per week, 15 DMs, and a client meeting. And since then, he's gotten a lot more from that. So, again, the question is, do you think it's possible? I think so. We have people like Luisa getting wins left, right, and center, increasing her engagement by 400% after 4 weeks. So this works for everyone. I could go on for ages. Like, we have testimonials to go on for hours. Now, all of this was built on the 3 fundamental engines that have enabled me to scale my businesses to millions and millions and millions of dollars while running 3 businesses and while still going viral, right? I didn't have to compromise either or. I was able to do them both. And how Harry was able to scale his agency to $25,000 months. All right, we've got Harry. He's amazing. He's going to be teaching you guys over the next few weeks as well. So all of it is a combination of the 6 keys I see missing from most programs. So live coaching, accountability, gamification, in-person networking events, specialized AI tools that no one really has access to, and systems you can install into your business, right? How many of you guys are waiting for the right system to plug and play into your business and be like, yes, this is it. I am tired of following generic advice and going to YouTube for help, right? So as a result, I partnered up with 7 leading industry experts: Richard Moore, Shan Hanif, Connor, Hayden, Harry, and Jake, and Rob. And we've completely revolutionized how we deliver this program. And here's how we're going to do it. I carefully engineered 4 weeks of transformations, taking you through the record month ecosystem that I showed you at the start. And this is how you can add $10,000 to $50,000 every single month. And you can see the entire timetable for you there. We start in mid-May. Week 1 is perfect positioning. Week 2 is building the ultimate content calendar. Week 3 is funneling and outreach mastery. And week 4 is optimizing your ecosystem for success. As you can see, how dense this is not another course that you buy and forget. And it's not a community where you just get to ask questions and then just wait until they get answered one day. This is a full week intensive business mastermind where each week has a job. Each week has a specific focus and specific outcome. So again, week 1, we focus on the foundations first. So positioning, having your offer document. So we have progress indicators as well. So we're going to have you fill offer documents, profile optimizations, getting your positioning nailed down, and having your 3 content pillars identified. So you don't go another week thinking, what do I post? You get it within the first week, if not the first day. All right. Now, week 2 is how to create content that builds influence. And we have Richard, one of the main people that almost captures that word influence, right? And he sells to his right people. He converts incredibly well, and he's going to teach you how. Same with me. I'm going to show you my content calendar that built me a $1 million business. So as a result, we're going to get your content nailed down. We're going to build your engagement and get seen by ideal prospects, a good post that gets you 100 likes, and then building momentum so you can actually start growing on LinkedIn. Week number 3, how to start generating leads from that content. So you're going to build the ultimate lead generating funnel. You're going to start to understand how to sell in the DMs in a non-salesy and cringy way. Because honestly, guys, selling in the DMs is where it's at today. I didn't want to say it, but it's true. We've tested it out with every single one of our clients, and that's how they're seeing the most success. They have their profile positioned, and then the sales just almost become instant because it's both together. It's not inbound versus outbound, it's both. And so as a result, we have challenges from outreach to the right GPTs, etc. So you guys can actually start creating DMs without wondering, what do I say? Oh, my audience is full of lurkers. All my LinkedIn impressions are this. Like, you can actually finally, for once, have control of your lead generation and not just leaving it up to chance, right? And then week 4, we systemize it all together. So we build a sustainable system. We funnel optimize people from cold to warm buyers, and we use sales psychology to close clients, the type Shan has used to build a 23 million ARR business. So the progress indicators for this are how to build the right habits, how to close people, and how to have a complete funnel. So if you're here and you're like, oh, I just have a Calendly link, or I don't even have an offer, I don't even have a landing page, I don't know what a lead magnet is, I don't know what a webinar is, I don't know how to do all of these things that you're saying, these 4 weeks are going to show you how to build an online business that is actually profitable and is not just relying on the LinkedIn algorithm, right? And I am very passionate about this, as you can tell. So decision timings on this, by the way, they are kept in a way that everyone across the globe gets a chance to attend most sessions, because we have people from Australia, Paris, the UK, Mexico, India, Pakistan, etc. So every single lesson is curated to meet a certain time zone. So most classes are Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. No, wait. Most lessons are Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are for you to catch up and implement the worksheets. All right. Now, each session is 2 hours long. One of them is me teaching, and one of them is live implementation and Q&A. Because I know if you guys have taken a previous program, some of them are just like a 1 hour, one and done, and you don't get any chance to talk to your coaches, but we are. So that is the whole point, because I want to give you guys a personalized experience where you just don't learn, you just don't learn more things. You actually implement right then and there, like I've been forcing you to do throughout this entire masterclass. Now, if you're asking, okay, Lara, but how do I find these 2 hours every single day? Well, you can cut off some doom scrolling, you can cut off some Netflix, you can have it in your lunch breaks and commutes, and you can cut off unnecessary meetings for 4 weeks. That's all I ask. Okay? And you also have an entrepreneur circle that wins together. So I know that some of you may feel lonely in this journey. Maybe no one really understands what you're doing. Maybe you don't have the right mentors. Maybe you don't have the right access to afford the right mentors like I showed you. Like Sean charges $8,000 for his time. I charge between $10,000 and $15,000 for my time, right? In this, you don't even have to pay anywhere near close to that, because we want to build the right circle for you to win. Because I am someone that loves momentum and being around winners, because at the end of the day, winners always win together. Okay. I also run one of the most active LinkedIn communities in the world, because I know how it's done, right? My LinkedIn ecosystem is full of nerds that are consistently pushing each other to win. Now, our closest competitors charge between $6,000 like this, then 1.5K after 8 weeks. And this is how they're pricing it, right? $6,000 for something that is nearly the same, but not as in depth or as intense, right? Now, you may be asking me, like, Lara, why are you doing all of this when you have so many businesses to run? Well, the reason is that honestly, I spent over $30,000 over the last year trying to find something like this. You can see one of my receipts from a mastermind that I joined earlier on last year. That was nearly $20,000. And then I was like, well, yes, this was cool, but I want something better. I want to build it myself. But I couldn't find it, so then I ended up building it. So I'm not done showing you what it's in it because if you join the non club today, you get so many bonuses. I'm not gonna have time to go through all of them, but you get literally Academy, which the investment of it is $999. So that is a dedicated growth academy with curated lessons to equip you with everything you need to build irresistible authority. That is worth $999 alone. You can go and search it up on Google. Then the second thing is that I charge over, $1,000 to $2,000 for my coaching. And so you also get access to my full personal branding MBA. So if we do the maths of how many hours there are in these programs and we do the maths per hour of how much I charge, the price of that should be over $12,000, right? Then the same for the extra modules that you get, like content code, which should be around $7,000 if we're calculating it by an hourly rate, right? We also have my amazing send and sell program that again has 6 hours of content and that should be around $10,000. We also have 15 plus masterclasses from industry experts like Yasmin Alec, by Taslim, by JK Molina, by Dakota Robertson, and so many more like Matt Barker, etc. You get them all included, right? Can you guess how much all of these people would charge per hour? So, me, $12,000. Also, me, also Richard, around $2,000. So, all of these people, Jasmine, for example, charges over $2,000. Taslim, $3,000. And that was mate rates. Richard Moore, mate rates as well, $1,000. I think he charges $3,000 now. All of just the masterclasses alone are worth over $22,000. And I'm not even making it up. You can do the math yourselves, right? There's a lot more though. You get Shan Hanif's monetization blueprint. That is worth $599. And he shows you exactly his entire playbook to scale your offer, how to monetize using funnels, and how to convert leads into sales, right? You also get a 24/7 Lara AI. So, I don't sleep. And also she doesn't sleep. So if you have any questions about personal branding, positioning, etc., you can also use her and you get her included for free. You also get the Hot Outreach MBA made by Sean, where he walks you through exactly how to actually land leads rather than just waiting for them to happen for you. So he literally shows you his entire ecosystem, right? Is right there for you. We have some I guess screenshots of that. You also get a free month access to Clio, my software. So Clio is $99 a month, but if you join the known club, you get it for free for a month. So if you've been waiting for the right tool to get started because you don't have time, you get it included inside of the known club. You also get 14 days free access of Pablo. So Pablo is where we host all of my programs, landing pages, and lead magnets. So you can start building your own things without having to find a content designer, the perfect website, etc. We are literally helping you build the proper ecosystem for you to start seeing success on LinkedIn, right? Then bonus number 8, if we keep on going. We have exclusive resources, GPT libraries, etc. We've got everything that you probably wanted and more. We have an exclusive community for support. We have in-person events and networking. We have challenges and gamification to make sure that you are actually implementing. If you saw the timetable, if you have the link already, you can see that Fridays are specifically for me to come in and tell you exactly what you've been doing and give you one-to-one support, right? We also have a dedicated growth platform where you find every single program that I literally just told you about inside of one platform. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. And then we also have the community. So you can start winning together and start sharing your wins, etc. So I could go in for ages, but we have so many case studies and testimonials of people that are winning. So we have someone like Talima here. I made my investment back 2 times over within 3 hours of joining, right? Within 2 hours of joining the known club. That could be you. Now, the question is, okay, Lara, well, I'll figure it out on my own. Well, yeah, okay. You probably said that last year. You probably said that in January. So why haven't you? Well, Lara, I'll just go and implement every single one of your YouTube videos. Well, the thing is, you guys have probably already seen them. So inaction comes with a hidden cost. Every month without a proper funnel is a month your competitor is getting clients that should be yours. All right. So again, who here, after seeing that, who here wants to be the next person that makes their investment back in within 2 hours of joining the known club? Just put a me in the chat. Yes? Hell yeah. All right, cool. So here's what happened. Here's what's gonna happen now. If we add everything up that I told you about the known club, everything should be worth over $13,000 with every single bonus included, like Cleo, like Pablo, like the 4-week mastermind, which is live, by the way, every single networking event, every single accountability program, every single growth academy, every single playbook, every single thing. Every template that I mentioned is included, and it should be worth $13,000. But today, I'm not going to charge you any of that. What if I told you that the price for today is $10,000? Are you happy with that? Would you guys be able to make that investment today? Would you guys be happy? I mean, that would be worth around 3 hours of my time based on how much I charge. So, is that good with you guys? Hell yeah. Hell yes. Okay, I'm gonna send you the link to you guys. All right. No, because I know that you guys are looking to implement immediately and you guys want to see success and you guys have been here for the last 2 hours, I'm not going to charge you anything anywhere close to that. I should. And actually, Alexander, who you saw in the testimonials, he was like, this was worth more than you charged. And I was like, yes, I know. I know. So the price today, because we increased the price, because Alexander and all of our other clients told us to do that, is going to be $8,000. I mean, we've been told to do that. So I think it's fair, right? Right? No. Again, we might do that in the future and we probably will do it soon, but it's not going to be that today. So the price, ladies and gentlemen, 5,000. Again, with all of the free bonuses, 4 weeks intensive, 5 classes every single week, I think it makes sense, right? Investing in your progress like I have is important. You guys saw me invest over $20,000 in a single mastermind. So maybe it's worth it. And that mastermind only had a single live call a week. So I think it would be fair, right? No. Well, the price today, ladies and gentlemen, the investment is going to be $2,500 for you guys today. Right? That is the final price of today. This is only for the people who joined this live, not in 30 hours, not in 30 days, not when you get around to it and you find more time, maybe the next quarter, today. Afterwards, people will be paying full price to get in from the actual page, which is $3,000, not $2,500, like I mentioned today. So the link is going to be in the chat if you guys want to join us. We start in mid-May. So in the chat, you'll find it. Leva is going to send it to you. So I know some of you guys may not have enough funds today, so we actually have payment plans available. You can pay in 2 or you can pay in 4 installments. That will also be available. And you can also pay a deposit for you of $500. So because I know that some of you guys may not be expecting to join today, but you guys really want to join us and you want to join me and you guys enjoy that masterclass. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, as a bonus today, for the next few people that join us today, we are going to add an additional 3 months of guidance and support, plus a monthly group coaching call to answer every single one of your questions. So I know a lot of you maybe want okay, Lara, I want to take the full week seriously, but I also want some additional support to make sure that I'm still getting momentum. So as a result, we've added a 3-month extra additional support where you're going to get a live call with me every single month to make sure that you're still on track. That would be worth $297 for the 3 months, but we're not going to charge you that because if you join today, that is going to become included as part of your non-club package. Now, let's do the maths. Any one of you could hire a ghostwriter, and that could be around $2,000 to $3,000. You can see the rates of people that are charging today. Like the ghostwriting economics, by the way, is crazy. I, as a ghostwriter, I would love to be one again, but I'm not. But people are charging insane prices for personal branding. Now, a content agency between $5,000 and $10,000 a month, right? That is just for your content written and you're not really knowing any of the strategy, right? Now, the result though, if you were to join the known club, if you just closed one client after the 4 weeks of $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, that could be your return on investment within a week, within 2 days, within 3 hours, like one of our clients did. Now, all of these people that have taken our programs have all made it back from landing one single client, right? We have people like Mantav here making 15K with, and I don't give guarantees ever, but I am so confident about this program that I am 99% sure that those who join us will see significant outlier results if they do implement. Okay? From anyone on the fence, for anyone on the fence, we have people like Tilomai here. I joined yesterday and paid the option of two payments, but I got so excited, blah, 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 blah. And so she closed a client within that day. Right? This is real. I didn't make it up. I didn't force her to say this. Shout out to her if she's here. Amazing stuff. So switching to coach mode now. I'm gonna have some known club people. You can also ask us some questions. But yeah. Now, the last thing that I do want to say, there are three paths in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Path number one, you do nothing. Path number two, you do it yourself, and it can work, yeah. Or path number three, you join the known club, you start creating like the top 1% this week, you shorten your learning curve, you skip trial and error, and you start seeing results. Now, we're only accepting new members until we hit capacity because we're trying to keep these super curated and making sure that the right people are inside. So you have the link in the chat here if you want to join us. So I am gonna have Hayden here joining us right now. Where is he at? So he can talk to us about how he's done all the amazing things that he's done over the last few years on LinkedIn. And also, guys, the link is in the chat. Where is Hayden, Leva? If you wanna talk, hey Leva. I want the recording. Hey Hayden. Let me see if I can make you a guest. Leva. All right. And also, guys, if you have any questions, please let us know. And let's go. Okay, cool. Let's conclude. Thanks, the recording. You guys want the recording? It may be sent after the 3 days. So yeah. Does it make sense for me to become a LinkedIn expert for my country? Please roast my profile. Sure, I will do it in a second. Okay, let's go with the prior. Okay, guys. Okay, Guy, where's Guy? Hey, Guy, how's it going?
Yep, I'm here. Hey there. How you doing?
Hi, we're gonna spotlight you. Hi, Guy. I haven't seen you in
I
ages.
I just get worn out listening to you, but it's a happy worn out. I don't know how you do it at this time of day and night.
A lot of caffeine.
Yeah, that's always working. So, anyways, I don't know. What would you like me to do?
So, Guy, I talk about you a lot more than I initially ever expected to talk about you. And I first I wanna like congratulate you because you've truly blown my mind. Like every single time I see your content, 5,000 likes, 3,000 likes. I would love for you to share like how does that feel for you, especially being in such a niche industry that you potentially never expected to work the way it has on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I joined LinkedIn 21 years ago, and I did the wrong things for 20 of those years. So I'm glad to say it kind of like feels like it's got a happier ending. I met you, I actually joined your Creator Capital course May last year. And having come off the Literally Academy, I think I signed up to that in December. I did that thing about, Q1 was very busy. Oh, by the way, I mean, for everybody, I work in the corporate world, and I saw somebody ask a question, well, how do I do this alongside a full-time corporate job? And I'm still in that role, and I enjoy doing it. And it's in the data center world, which you saw Laura put the profile up earlier on. So I wasn't using LinkedIn. Then I decided, well, let me talk about what I do. And I talked at a very high level. I started a newsletter because somebody said, you got to do newsletters. And nothing worked. I then started to copy everybody. I put up, the bus stop signs with positive phrases on it and whatever. I just copied and it didn't work. And then I just started to listen to you, Laura. I sat quietly off camera, nervous. By the way, I tried to dress down a little bit. I hope
In the
that's okay with you
hospital
today.
from his hospital
Yeah. So
bed.
in that the third of the sessions of the Creator Capital, I just had an operation, and but I wasn't not going to turn up. And actually, that was having listened for I think 30 days, applying what you did. I went into your library of all the videos that you showed on there, and I just became an addict for learning and learning. Started to apply stuff, and actually, the day I went into the operation, I was under the knife. I had a hip replacement. When I came out, My first viral post had just shot through the roof, and I couldn't believe it. I thought I needed to sort of go back into operations to make sure that I got more viral posts. At that point, that's what I wanted to do. I thought it was about attracting attention and the kind of the influence game. But yeah, data centers is not the most exciting subject. But somehow and accidentally, and just listening to what you told, I actually became. I don't think I've told you this, Laura. Um, I'm actually now on a magazine, a global magazine, data centers called datacentermagazine.com. And I was listed in their top 10 voices, LinkedIn voices for data centers. And somebody sent me the link, and I started to scroll down it, thinking, it starts at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I thought this is a joke. I found out I was number two across globally for LinkedIn in terms of data center voice, as far as the panel had voted. I wouldn't have got anywhere near that. I mean, it was never even something I even knew existed after 20 something years. So, I think probably what you taught me, if there were kind of three things that I would sort of share with everybody was and I didn't even know what ICP was. And when I came to those meetings and didn't go on camera, I hadn't looked it up from the previous time because I was running a full time role. Oh, I should have looked that one up. But I just really, you said two or three things, and I just took them to heart and really followed them. Number one was look at the people. In fact, look at who you'd like to be on LinkedIn, and get in their head and look back at yourself and what are you talking about. So I just started to observe everything that they did, copied what they did, not necessarily the posts, but just copied their actions, what they were doing every day, following them, commenting on their posts. I suddenly found the value of commenting because it was kind of like a window to the world. I learned that people saw my comments and went off to look at me. It just created this sort of swirl and momentum. So before you, I was 1,500 followers. We met on July the 1st, at the end of the Creator Capital. And I was so pleased to sit down and I got 2 hours of your time and said, I hit 20,000 followers just doing the Creator Capital, which is a year ago.
I
Um,
know.
Since growing, yeah, I mean, I'm just shy of 60 now, 59 and a half, I think it is. And I'm still doing the corporate job. I'm still doing it. And I think one of the things I would say is that I can't come on here and talk about the numbers, the financials, because I do it for companies that we're all using, Google and Microsoft, Meta, and so forth. So I work within their data center world. But the numbers that I've taken, what you've taught me here, and I've learned on LinkedIn, and I've applied it in my corporate role. I mean, it doesn't pay back in. It pays it back in like 2.5 minutes in terms of the
Yeah.
volume of business that's been brought through. So from that side. But I will say one thing. The other thing I'm obsessive about data. I track every single post I do. I see I follow the LinkedIn analytics. What are the numbers after 24 hours? What are the numbers after 7 days? What are the numbers after 28? And I look really, I can see when it works, what I put up, and when it doesn't necessarily work so much. So,
Amazing.
and I checked in yesterday. I thought I'd better just check and have a look.
I
Um,
do have a question for you, Guy.
Go for it. Yeah.
A lot of people may be like you, and you're like, I have a full-time role, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to commit to the time that it takes to be on the calls and then create content, etc. What is the piece of advice that you would give anyone that is either considering joining a program like this and having the results that you've had after working a 9 to 5 and like not having really that much time?
Don't have much time. Um, you just got to carve it out and you just block it out. I mean, you talk about doom scrolling. I don't really do doom scrolling, but I laughed when I saw that come up on the screen. You just do have to carve time out. Do you know what I do? I found it fun, and I think that was the key thing that I sort of made this. And no, in the first stages, things aren't working, and and it's not coming back, and you sort of hit miss. Most of them are misses, but it was just treating it all as an experiment. Um, and like everything, when you start anything new, you're not good at it. And I just started to work. I've worked 40 something years, 42 years I've been working, and not all of those years have worked. Quite a lot of them haven't. So it was just being able to say, this isn't going to work, or is it? And just pushing something out of there. So I do a lot of imagery. I have to say that's one thing that I do. I put probably more effort into creating the image that matches my post. Um,
Yeah, you do.
but and that works, and it's just finding what works, I suppose.
I would love to maybe someday have you on and tell us how you've created all this amazing content because guys, sometimes I look at your infographics and I'm like, wow, how did you do that? And then you learned it by yourself, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Guy, I don't want to. Yeah,
I
go
need to
on.
pay somebody to do it because I again time, but I'm enjoying doing it. I don't want to hand it on to somebody else yet, but I will have to.
I think enjoyment is part of your process. Guy, I know it's late for all of us, so I don't want to keep you here. Firstly, I want to say to everyone, please go follow Guy. Like, even if I don't understand anything that he says ever, I am in awe of his success. And Guy, I'm going to say this publicly. I say this a lot in my masterminds and live conferences. Like, you are one of the people that inspires me the most to keep on going. Something that I've loved and I learned from you is like to truly love the journey, and then you're part of the people that keep me going. So publicly and privately, like I do, I want to celebrate you and I want to say thank you.
Well,
So
it's energy. So you gave me energy, and you're just getting it back as well. So
of
thank
course,
you.
thank you so much for your support. Anything that you would say to anyone that's considering joining a 4 week program like this one, like you did at the very start of the year?
Yeah, don't take 20 years to make a decision to do it. I wish I'd done it way before I actually started to dive in and do it.
Amazing. Well, we've got a lot of people following you guys, so hopefully you get even more viral
Well,
posts now. Thank you
if
so much,
anybody's got
guys.
questions, send it. Happy to help.
See you soon, guy. Thank you so much for your
Take care.
time.
You too. Bye now.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had the amazing Guy in there. He is the king. I am so proud of him. Honestly, I can't really take that much credit because his energy was truly what made it happen. Working a 9 to 5, I just don't know how he's done it. But I think that when you have the right guidance, cool things happen. Now, before I move on to introducing you guys to Hayden, who's also going to have a special class for you guys, I do want to remind you that if you do join today, you don't just get the 4 weeks, you get an extra 3 months of guidance. Again, the investment for this is 2,500, right? That is literally what you would pay an agency to work with you for 2 weeks, a consultant to work with you for an hour. So I am just reminding you of the insane investment that this is. Like how even it's not, I'm not gonna say that it's cheap because it's not, but it is so worth your while. So I'm putting in the link in the chat for you guys to join me. The program has evolved a lot since Guy was here, and we've literally taken this case study and we tried to put everything that I think made Guy's profile work and Hayden's profile work. So just reminding you of that, and also all of the things that you get the 4 weeks live with us, you get the community, you get all of the bonuses, you get all the special masterclasses, and we do have some people that have already joined. So shout out to Matthias, who's joined already. Shout out to Nirav, who's joined already. Shout out to Kadia, who's joined already. Shout out to Keita, who's joined already. So thank you guys for joining. You're also going to be receiving a special message from us. So thank you. Now, let's move on to Hayden. Where is he at, Leva? I haven't spoken to Hayden in such a long time, so we'll see if he's here. Is he here? Hayden. Now, I'm gonna answer some questions in the meantime. Do we get the recording? You may do after the 3 days, but we're not gonna send it yet because I wanted you guys locked in. Like, if you guys weren't, you wouldn't have implemented everything that I said. Hi, Hayden. How's it
Hi,
going?
Laura. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. How's it
Congratulations
going?
on your achievement. Amazing.
Thank you for starting the
Yeah, so
30.
impressive.
All right, Hayden. Well, firstly, we're gonna have you as a coach for one of our lessons. So I am so excited because you've done it all, basically. You've gone from, not getting that much engagement to being who you are right now. So I would love for you to explain how it even happened for you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I mean, this started around 14 months ago, similar to Guy. I mean, what Guy's achieved has been absolutely amazing. And it just shows age and experience does work, similar to myself. I was totally anti-social media. And you've heard this story before, Laura. I was at a client in London presenting to a board, and it was a beautiful view across Tower Bridge. And bizarrely, I decided just to take a selfie of Tower Bridge of myself, posted it on LinkedIn, and suddenly saw the power of LinkedIn all of a sudden,
Yeah,
saw all the opportunities, and I lent in massively into LinkedIn. But I didn't join the academy probably for another sort of 2, 3 months. So I tried to muddle through, looked at YouTube clips, looked to copy other people, but there's nothing like joining the right cohort or joining the right academy. And that made such a big difference for me. My background is I'm ex PricewaterhouseCoopers, and ex Grant Thornton. I've had my own business for 6, 7 years now, and I was literally a one-man band. I have 10 people working for me now over a year's period. I've had a book deal, I've had sponsored posts, and this is all as a result of the supportive community. And I'm not going to lie, I've been absolutely obsessed by the experience because it just opens doors like crazy. It's
Yeah,
just
it
been
does.
an absolutely life-changing experience for me. And I think you shared some of the case studies. I get very addicted and obsessed by direct messaging people and sharing really good value. I come from a traditional consulting environment and I'm trying to disrupt what that common relation looks like from the past and do something different. And the world of LinkedIn enables that to happen in a very, very different way. And more recently, my future business partners. So hopefully over the next 2 to 3 months, I'm going to be launching a new AI business. Very, very
Nice.
different from my HR background, but I've joined partnership with some big hitting people in business, and we're really trying to disrupt that sort of sports psychology, board effectiveness, and AI world. That all came through LinkedIn. So
And can you remind us what your biggest deal on LinkedIn has been?
Um, oh yeah, it's been over 250,000.
$250,000
Yeah.
generated from LinkedIn alone.
Oh no, no, it's more than that. That was one deal.
Oh, just one deal. Oh my
Yes,
God. Sorry,
yes,
sorry.
yes, yes, yes. Sorry, that sounds very big-headed.
No, of
What
course.
what what it's come to now is I do a lot of work in universities around operating models now. So that's around sort of people, process, and technology coming together. And my very first deal came through a very poorly written HR operating model post. I did a very small piece of work for them, and that evolved over a sort of 9 to 12 month period. And then I was asked to pitch for a university-wide operating model piece of work, and we were pitching against Ernst and Young, PA Consulting. So I got a group of people together, and we came up with a proposal that was very, very different from the traditional consulting firms. But it was that power of the network and collaboration through LinkedIn and through my network through LinkedIn, which enabled to do something different, and that enabled us to win that piece of work. Yeah,
Awesome. So Hayden, I've got a few questions for you if you don't mind. So
yeah, of course, go for it.
what was you joined my programs before. What was the main thing that you didn't expect to learn that got you to where you are today from these programs?
I think it's the element of, at first for me, I was very obsessed about the likes and the comments. And for me now, it's making sure that you get them off the platform, you get them into a funnel accordingly, and you create that long lasting relationship and add value. I think the other thing that I get from a community like yours, Laura, which I have to sing your praises, is the energy and enthusiasm that we get from you, because it's
Thank
very
you.
easy to give up in life. And the people that are successful are not necessarily always the best people constantly. It's the ones that don't give in and they constantly give that extra percent every week. And your culture and your organization enables that to happen in buckets. There's so many success stories, and I think it. Well, it's not a thing. I know that has enabled me accordingly.
I appreciate it. So for anyone that's on the fence of joining the Known Club, what would you tell them?
Just to get on with it quickly. Generally, there's people who talk about things in life, and as I get older and older, I realise this more and more. And maybe I'm a late bloomer. You can talk to the cows come home accordingly, but action is everything, and this community enables that. So you can analyse it like mad, right? And procrastinate and wait till the following week. I wasted 3 months, and if not more, I wasted years and years of not doing anything on LinkedIn. So I have literally grown my business from pretty much nothing to multi-million pounds now as a result of the social presence I've got. Um,
Awesome.
I wish I'd done that years and years ago.
Well, hell yeah, Hayden. I can't wait for your session. I am really, really curious to see what you're gonna teach us because your content is amazing and you have a very different way of teaching. So I am so honored to be able to have you as a coach for one time.
Oh, thank you so much.
And then yeah, so everybody else, Hayden, what's your LinkedIn name? People want to follow you here.
It's Hayden Swilling,
Hayden Swirling.
HaydenSwiller.
If you want to follow him and see what he's been up to and seeing how he's able to generate $250,000 from one piece, one just his LinkedIn, then follow Hayden and he's gonna be teaching inside of like the Known Club, and I am so excited. So thank you, Hayden, for your
Brilliant.
time. I'll see you
Great to
soon.
see you. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, how amazing it is that we have these amazing people really killing it on LinkedIn, even if they have full-time jobs, even if they have very niches, even if they don't have time. So I am so honored to be able to not just have these people as clients and students, but also as friends. These people inspire me all the time, and I hope some of you guys are able to become that for me sometime, because truly it is what inspires me the most. So shout out to Matt, that's also just joined. Shout out to you. Looking forward to meeting you soon, Matt. Shout out to Dorina here as well, who's also paid to join the Known Club. So guys, just letting you know, we only have a few spots per lesson today, also at this price. So as I said at the start, we are not offering this discounted price when we finish the 3 days. So you do need to take action today. This is not going to be priced at this point anytime soon. We might increase the price soon. So just as a quick reminder for you guys that are still in this masterclass, and I know you guys are going to see me tomorrow. So just as a quick reminder, here's exactly what's going to happen. So on Monday 4th, when you join, you're going to get the link to join the community and the Known Club, the platform signing access. So you get access to all of the modules. You get to fill in a questionnaire. So you fill in your goals and you get access to all of the bonus materials. So the reason why we're making you guys fill in your goals is because we want to make this as tailored as possible. This is not another content program that you get once and you watch in 20 years. No. So from the 4th to the 11th of May, you're going to have a look around to all of these modules and start looking at what's best for you. Maybe you're struggling with lead generation, positioning, etc. So you're going to have time to consume the content and get ready for kickoff, which starts on the 17th of May. Now, from the 4th to the 11th of May, our program will map out exactly what you need to do to prioritize it within the cohort. So we have an entire blueprint for you to follow. That this is not just made up. It's actually based on real results. So on Monday, 11th of May, you're going to have your onboarding call with me where you get the chance to get me and get your LinkedIn audited directly by me. So Shannon, for example, she was on the screen and she loved it so much. Okay. On the 17th of May, we officially start and we kick off with the positioning masterclass, which is one of my favorite ones because it helps people finally understand why they are not getting any sales or why they are not being seen as the authority in their space. All right. So link is in the chat, guys, if you want to join us. We do have limited access. We have limited capability. That's why we run them only 4 times a year. So this the second time we run it, and I'm hoping to see you guys in there. So a recap: week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. There are different things. So positioning, content, funnels, and lead generation. All right. Now, that's not all. We have a special live bonus to help you reach your goals faster. So this is for the people that attended live. So we're going to be sending it out on email as well. So bonus gift for you guys. If you guys join today as well, you're going to get a detailed offer audit. So this is worth $500, but you're going to get it included for the next 10 spots that we fill. So if you've been waiting for a coach, but you are not able to get across them because they're too expensive or they charge $10,000 for an hour, if you join today, you're going to get a detailed offer audit. So 90% of people fail on LinkedIn because of a bad offer. It's not just bad content, it's also their bad offer. So I will personally review your offer in detail and help you create one that helps you get the most ROI for the least effort, right? On average, a business coach charges between $150 to $500 per hour for one session alone, right? And this is data taken from AI, so you know that it is true because it's just based on averages, right? My hourly rate is between $3,000 to $10,000 to $15,000, depends on the client. So this is not just something that we're just adding in, it's something that you do need. And we're willing to help you, but it's only for 10 spots because we can't do this for everyone. All right. So if for the people that already joined, this is going to be included for you. So don't worry. So we probably have around, 2 spots left. Now, also for the first 10 people that joined the program as well, we have a profile revamp breakdown. So Some of my clients have landed clients within 24 hours of updating their profiles, and I will help you revamp your profile according to the signals of mastery I talked about earlier, tailored for both attention and conversion. This audit alone is worth $799, and I don't offer it anywhere else, right? These are things that I've never offered, that I won't offer in public, that are just there for you to grab. So these are for the next few spots that join. So please, the link is in the chat. If you do want to join us in Inside of the Nerd Club, you get these 2 bonuses that are amazing, plus all of the content and all the masterclasses in the 4 weeks that you have with us. All right. And again, for those who pay in full today, you get additional 3 months guidance from us. So you're not gonna be left hanging. You also get momentum, etc., and coaching directly from me. So now here are the results of those who have gotten my personalized audits before. We have Pesco, we have Anna, we have Noemi, who went from 30K to 65K. We've got Anna, my win from the week. I got my first inbound lead from a lead magnet. So you can see that this works. And now you're gonna get those bonuses by the time the cohort ends, and then that's gonna fast track your success, and you'll never have to pay a penny for all of these extra bonuses. All right. So this is only if you take action right now, as I've been saying. Now, Lara, why the urgency? Well, I can't justify giving this away to anyone. It's not fair for people that are paying the full price. So this is only for the people that are here with us live. Now, as a reminder, you get everything that is included here. So Clio, Pablo, top 1% insider frameworks that no one else is talking about, Sean's monetization blueprint, the systems to get viral, etc. All of these things are included in the program, right? Now, the link is in the chat if you guys want to join. Now, because we have so many people still here, I am going to roast one last LinkedIn profile. You're not being ignored. I'm still talking. I haven't answered a single question yet. I've just been talking about the presentation. So Levi, if you want to send me another profile so we can roast them. And then in the meantime, I'm going to answer some questions because people are asking as well. Logging off. Thank you so much. I don't see the questions. So if you did send one, please do resend it. So 1 man ban here. I don't get to see all the questions. Okay, what the fuck, everyone's on this call. Yes, they were. We were gonna have so many more people next time. Okay. Is deleting old content and old connections helpful, or will it be harming? It's not harming, but it may take you time. So what I did instead is I deleted my entire LinkedIn to repel that. But honestly, you don't have to do that. Like LinkedIn has become quite smart now. So it is not about deleting connections, it's about making new ones. So something that I do every single day is I add 20 new connections every single time on my LinkedIn. So these are connections that meet my ideal client persona. So consultants, coaches, engineers, etc. Someone that needs to build a personal brand, that is who I'm aiming for. So ideally, instead of trying to delete connections and spending hours doing that, I would recommend instead adding new connections every single time. All right. Do some Q&A box. There's a Q&A box. I didn't see it. There is one. Leva, I don't see the Q&A. Oh, here it is. All right. After the 3 days, well, yeah. Why isn't someone... Oh, yeah. Letting Lara know that there are Q&As. They already told me. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start from the top. Will this recording be sent via email? Yes, after the 3 days. Do we add questions here? Yes. Hey, do we have unlimited ideas for each post, as I want to keep posting, but I keep hitting a blank for the ideas? When there's so much AI hype in general, also this question is so much. Okay, so when you, like I said at the start, there is a system that I showed you guys. When you understand what your one thing is, unlimited ideas come from those 3 pillars. You can always frame that same idea into one thing. So on 2 different posts. So let's say I want to talk about content creation or like about a LinkedIn framework, right? That's one framework. And I'm like, okay, I just want to have one post and I need to post 365 times a week. No, a year. Now, so then I'm like, okay, so this one framework can be turned into a story, can be turned into an educational post, can be turned into a case study, can be turned into another story. So there are multiple ways to say the same thing. You don't always have to recreate the same, like reinvent the wheel. That is a lie that we've been sold. What do you sell and how do I buy? Link is in the chat. I'm gonna put it again in there. That is the Nerd Club. Okay. Is your offer similar to Imangaji's or oh my god. So my offer is a 4 week intensive. So Iman's mastermind is, I think, 1 call per week. So ours is 5 calls per week and it's specific to LinkedIn. So that is more so the difference. It's not one or the other is better. It's more so like what problem it solves for us. It solves positioning on LinkedIn and client acquisition via LinkedIn itself, from DMs to content to funnels to lead magnets to landing pages to webinars to masterclasses to LinkedIn lives, etc. So we cover all of that inside of the Known Club. How did you do how did you oh my god, these questions, how did your career transition overlap? Can you do more than one thing at a time? Example, offering a consultant service scale up while building your okay. So basically what to do if there's two niches at the same time. So ideally you pick the one that is actually going to produce more money and also the thing that your personal brand is based about. So if you currently have a 9 to 5 but you also have a different offer, there will be some overlap between the both offers. So if you're a consultant and you're offering consulting services outside, then the consulting element is the middle. That's what your personal brand is going to be built on at the start. And then once you leave your 9 to 5, or once you're able to replace your full-time income, then you then pivot onto being more specific about your new offer while it's remaining as an expert in your field. So you take your expertise and all of your social proof from what you've done, and then you implement it onto your new offer. They don't need to compete, or you don't need to really pick. It's more so how do you mix them both? And that's why I showed you guys the strategy builder that I showed you guys at the start. That's why. Lara, I'm feeling bloody frustrated with the 360 rule algorithm. Well, good news for you. If you join the Known Club, you won't need to, because we fixed that inside of there. Is it only for personal account, or does it apply for past business accounts as well? So building a personal brand is actually a lot more relevant than building your business account. Even if like business accounts on LinkedIn get 60% less reach or something like that because it's a corporate account. It's behind the logo. People buy from people, not from businesses anymore. So I would say building a personal brand is a lot more useful than focusing on your business page. That doesn't mean that you have to take selfies of yourself. That doesn't mean that you have to be all like having like taking selfies and showing photos of yourself. You can be like Jake, my co-founder, who focuses on literally just information. And he really never shows his face because he doesn't have to. Because even if he's building a personal brand, his personal brand is based on education. Same with Guy. Guy doesn't really show his face. He's not an influencer, but he's influential. Yeah? Cool. All right. More questions. I think Leva is calling me. Okay, Leva, can you send me another profile while we're at it? What if we don't have distinguishable brands or logos as credibility? Then you become your own best case study. Like the best people that started on LinkedIn, i.e. me, I started with no testimonials. I didn't have a multi six-figure client. I didn't have a big corporate logo. I didn't have a Fortune 500. But then the way I got them was by showing my expertise over time. So I became my own best case study. So you need to become your own best case study. So I started as a content writer. So it's like I can make content go viral. And then so I made my content go viral, and that was my first case study. So it's like it would be like, here's how I went viral on LinkedIn. Here's how I got my first lead on LinkedIn. And then people started hiring me because they just wanted one lead, and then I got them one lead, and then the testimonials started piling up, right? You don't need testimonials to start building a personal brand. You just need one thing, and that is you at all times. So if that is what's scaring you, then I'm here to tell you that you don't need that. Thanks for this. You're welcome. What is the exact payment plan? What is the exact payment plan? The site is confusing. All right. So the investment of the Known Club for today is $2,500. You can secure your spot by paying a $500 deposit if you don't have the funds right now, or you can choose to pay in two or pay in four, because we understand that a lot of people may not have $2,500 laying around. So you can choose a payment plan. So that is how it works. So if you choose to pay in full, then the payment will divide it into four payments of $500 or something like that. If you choose to pay in full, then the payment will be divided pay in two. The payment will then be divided into two. Okay, that's it. Lara, this is a lot of money for just 4 weeks. I personally don't believe that is the case. $2,500 is what a client would be worth if you position your LinkedIn correctly, right? And also, I want you to think about the cost that you've been paying by not taking any action. Like, if you've been posting on LinkedIn consistently, if you've been trying to see the results and you're not getting them, that is a lot more money stacked up than you think, right? With our program, we are nearly sure that you will land your first high ticket client. right? If not more, because you are being taught by the best of the best in the world on LinkedIn. So I don't think it's a lot. I think it's actually too cheap. But this is actually why we did it, because we wanted to make it accessible and affordable for my audience. I could be charging $10,000 for this, but I don't want to, because I don't have to, firstly. And secondly, I want to help as many people as possible. But okay, then there's like the case of like, okay, so if you want to help as many people, why don't you do it for free? Because I have done it for free. My YouTube channel is right there. But people don't implement from it because they don't have skin in the game. So as I've learned is I've invested in so many consulting, coaching, etc. And the main reason for it is it may not even be the information, but it's me actually putting skin in the game and actually committing to my goals. That is why consulting always works, because you're putting your own skin in the game. You're not leaving it to chance. When we have free things, we just assume that they're gonna be free forever. That's why, like, let's say you guys have downloaded many lead magnets before, but you haven't implemented them, and they're just sitting in your desktop because you don't have the urgency to implement, make your money back, they get a return, and you also don't get like direct feedback from experts. So that is my answer to that. Can I get roasted? Yes, Leva is looking for profiles. Okay, cool. All right. We have Anna here. Anna, are you still here? Anna Arakilen. Do you have a done for you service? Not anymore. The closest to done for you service is this, which is done with you. So yeah, guys, this is your chance to ask for more questions. Yeah, 2.5K is still, hell yeah, Sharath. If I had the money, I would join. Well, hopefully we'll see you there sometime. Okay, if you have your LinkedIn in one language and wants to change another English to Spanish, is it possible, or should you open another account? I feel like, Miguel, this is advice that I've given before. If you want to build a personal brand that is influential, you need to speak in English. I don't believe that. I don't really think that speaking in Spanish is the best way, unless your offer is in Spanish. So it depends. If your offer is Spanish only, then fine, because that's your offer. And if you speak in English and then people get you coaching in Spanish, then that's not it. But if you are bilingual, then I would recommend you to build a brand based on English instead of just trying to build different personal brands. Like a lot of people want to build multiple profiles, but like if you don't have time to manage one personal brand, what makes you think that you're gonna be able to manage multiple? I think that is a mistake that a lot of people make. So I can tell, Kelly asks, so I can tell my story about how I became more self-aware of myself and daily habits and what mindset could do for you. Yes, if you have an offer around that, but if you don't have an offer around mindset, or like if your business isn't related to mindset, so like consultancy. So consulting is a lot about mindset. Being an entrepreneur is around mindset. But if you're talking about mindset and productivity, but your offer isn't tied to that, then it won't work. But yes, you can, as long as it's tied directly to your offer. Do we have her here? Where do we send our profiles? You send them to Leva, but Leva, I think you might have to send me another one because I don't think Anna is here. So I just want to do people that are live here with me. So mine, okay. Nirav, okay, cool. Diego. All right, Diego, go on. Send us the LinkedIn profile. All right, cool. Diego from Portugal. Hell yeah. All right, so you're self-employed. I can see your LinkedIn here. Okay. Now, operations and support leader, ex-Revolut, ex-Nestle, scaling, blah, blah, blah. So independent operation, customer support consultant. Okay, cool. So firstly, your banner and your headline need to change. So open to work. You have your own business, but you're open to work. That doesn't really, this just seems like you're looking for a full-time job rather than building your own business. So if you're self-employed, then your self-employed business should have a name. So I would say that your business should have a name. So it could be even Diego Consulting, right? Something like that, that just simply positions you as a business owner or as someone that's a freelancer. that just makes a world of a difference because people don't really look at people that are open to work. It just feels like it's too much or like you're actually looking to be hired rather than being an external consultant, which is like what it seems like you are. So yeah, customer support consultant. So operations and support leader. Um, Scaling. Okay, so I would say instead it would be scaling operations for, and then this using X in X days, right? X Revolut, X Nestle, perfect. And then we have this here, change and transformation data. So what does this really mean? So instead we could be like, implementing the X framework for X Fortune 500 companies, blah, blah, blah. And then open to CS and operate. It just depends because you're saying here that you're open to roles, but then you're also saying here that you're self-employed. So there's a mixed match in positioning here. So what is it? Do you want a full-time role or do you want to be a business owner or a solopreneur? So my 2 cents here would be focus on the one thing that you want to be. So it's either are you looking for a role or are you looking to be a solopreneur or like a entrepreneur by yourself as well. And then also your content, then based on what we spoke about earlier, and I'm gonna bring it up again. So what I said here is that you need to find your one thing. So let's say you want a role in operations. So a lot of your content should be around operations and the sub pillars within it. So let's say that, and we're gonna use Clio, which by the way, you guys get for free when you join the Known Club. So ignore everything about me. Please write me my content pillars based on this, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it onto Clio. The reason why I don't use ChatGPT or Claude or any other free AI is because Clio is actually built off my brain. So pillar number 1, scaling and operations. Pillar number 2, change and transformation. Pillar number 3, data and AI operations. Pillar number 4, leadership lessons from the front line, and career and job search and senior ops leadership. So let's say give me 3 educational posts for pillar number 1. So then, as a result, we start creating our content strategy with Cleo and also with me. So this is also something that I do directly with people inside of the Known Club. So we take your experience, we solidify your positioning, we make sure that it makes sense. So then when we prompt Cleo to write you your content, it actually makes sense. So the first thing that breaks when you scale past 70 people, that's an operations problem. What your process that worked for 30 people will kill you at 100. Again, you probably know this. The hiring mistakes that most operation leaders make when they're scaling fast. And now, let's say you really like this, so we're gonna let Cleo cook. And so it's gonna write a perfectly written post for you without even knowing anything about you. But then, obviously, when you join the Known Club and you get Cleo for free, you get access to, you upload your information to it, you get your like in specific frameworks and your experiences, etc. So you can write from a how I angle, like experiential authority, rather than a, basic language like model, like language. So for example, here, most operation leaders hire wrong when scaling fast, not because they pick back people, but because they hire for speed, not structure. Blah, blah, blah. And then just based on that single line of knowledge that we gave it, it actually tells a story. So it's following my slave framework and especially what we spoke about, which was, what was it that we covered? So it speaks about experiential authority, speaks about, the systems that we use. So experiential authority, we have it right here. So experiential authority is right here. And then it also covers, authentic content, which is also covered in there because we're talking about our own personal experiences. So Diego, hopefully that works and hopefully that helps you. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just as, oh, that's not it. So just as a last cue for you, if you guys want to join, if you guys want to get the bonuses, if you guys want to get a free audit from me, if you guys want to get the 4 weeks, I'll recommend for you guys to join the Known Club today. We've got other people joining. So we've got people like Matt, people like Clarice, etc. So yes. All right. Well, that's it for today. I know we've gone for 3 hours, so I'm gonna leave it today. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And hopefully you guys come back because we're gonna get into the trenches of content and I'm very excited for that. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, guys. Looking forward to it. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Recording stopped.